Your Honor, number 20 on the calendar, the matter of Creech versus Daniels. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
All right, Miss Creech, you were in a relationship with this gentleman for about 7 years, according to your complaint.
Yes.
And towards the end of that relationship, you say you lent him money to buy a car.
Right.
$4,000 to buy the car and another $1,100 for what?
For stereo and an alarm.
And how much after you made this loan to him did you separate?
About a month and a half.
You couldn't tell that there was handwriting on the wall?
No.
No?
No, I guess he could, but I couldn't.
You, sir, say that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So?
Not.
Tell me how it came about.
Okay. We had a car that we bought together, a Trans Am that we were going to sell.
A Trans Am?
The deal was he came home on March 28th and he took off with the car.
Which car?
The Trans Am, with his friend, supposedly to show it to somebody to sell. But actually, it went down to another woman's house. And so then he, the next morning, he took off with the Camaro.
Just a minute. How did we get to the Camaro? I want to know how you bought the Camaro.
I bought it with, my dad died and he left me some money. And it was in a separate account with my name on it. And I wrote the check to the company.
How did you
in
find
cash.
this Camaro?
Oh, we were shopping for parts at a wreckage company and they had the car for sale. And it was
This was
a good
about
deal.
a month before you separated.
Right.
So
It was on
what was the
Valentine's
conversation
Day.
like when you saw this car?
Well, we were looking at the car and he said, God, this is a good deal for $4,000 and it's 10 years younger or younger than what I already have. And so I said, well, let's think about it, because at the time he had quit his job and he wasn't working. And I said, if you get a job, then we'll get the car. Well, Monday came, he told me he had a job, which was a big lie. And then he went back to
What did he say to you? He got a job doing what?
driving a truck like he always does.
And you were living together at this time?
Yeah.
And you lived together the entire 7-year period?
On and off.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, on Thursday, the previous Thursday, he told me I have a job and I start Monday. So I believed him like an idiot. And Monday came and went, and so did the job. And then he went in and he has a drinking problem. He went in and he told me they decided not to accept me because, you know, the insurance wouldn't accept him.
What do you mean?
Well,
you mean
when
the
you have-
insurance for the trucking job?
Right, because he had a DUI like 10 years ago on his record.
Okay.
So, but the time was a little fishy, like when he left to when he went to this job. So amazing, he comes back to San Jose and he got his old job back, where he always gets it back. You know what I mean? Because when he works well. It's when he doesn't work, he drinks. So we got the job back and started driving the truck. But I never got any money back.
Just a
ever.
second. I still didn't hear how you bought the car.
Oh, then we went back to where this, you know, car was for sale, and he had a job, and I wrote the check, and the deal was he was supposed to be paying me back some money, but the money never came.
Now, when you got the car, you paid for the full amount. Is that
Yes.
right? So far, is that correct, sir?
Paying for the full amount, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. And you put the car in whose name?
Jointly.
Joint?
Joint.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, so far, that's at least one smart thing that you did.
Yeah, once in my life, yeah.
Okay. And then a month later, you separated.
Right.
But he also wanted a stereo in the car and an alarm.
Well, a week or two after that, we went down to this place where we had bought stereos and alarms before and just had to put in, I put it on the Visa, it was $1,100. So that's how.
So this was 2 weeks before you separated.
We bought the car on the 14th of February, and we bought the stereo on the 22nd of February.
And when did you separate?
The 29th of March.
Not a long time.
No.
So now you've got a
new
nice
car.
new Camaro with a stereo and an alarm.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what caused you to separate?
Her story is pretty well to the point. There's a few things that are just kind of a little iffy on that. For one thing, the other car is a 76 Pontiac Firebird, not a Trans Am. There's a difference. Okay. And another thing, the part about getting a job never came up in
Let's start about the part about the car.
That is
The car.
such a lie.
The car.
Okay.
You
Car.
are such a liar.
Car. Miss
Why
Creech,
would I buy a
Miss
car
Creech,
if he had no job
Miss Creech.
to pay me back? Such a liar.
Are we done?
No, we're
Yeah,
not done.
Miss Creech,
We're done.
if you want to talk to him, you go outside. If you want to talk to me, you can stay here.
Okay.
Thank
Is that
you.
fair?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
7 years of this. Anyway, what I'm saying is there was no contract. We went to get parts for my car.
No contract with whom?
Her and I.
Let me have. You think that there should have been a contract
No,
between
no, no,
the
no,
two
no,
of you?
no. There shouldn't have been a contract because there was no question in my mind that
what?
That we were buying a car and it was going to be my car. She can't. Can you drive a stick?
Just a second.
Can you? She can't drive a stick, Your Honor.
What does that got to
Listen
do
to
with
me.
anything?
Listen to me. She said that you were buying this car because you were going to sell the old car that you had.
That's perfectly correct.
I know, because that's what you put in your answer.
Right, but the thing is, there was no time that I was going to sell the car. I said, I'm going to sell the car, which doesn't mean I had a buyer for it. The car is for sale right now.
The car's in Riverside.
Just a second. Shh.
The car has a for sale sign on it right now, Your Honor, in Riverside, at this young lady's house.
Yeah.
Okay? The
Why
car-
do you think? And you have,
sorry.
so you have both cars.
Yes.
Let me understand this. Let me just put on my thinking cap and understand this whole thing. You have the Pontiac, right?
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the Camaro.
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the stereo.
Correct, Your Honor.
You have the alarm.
Correct, Your Honor.
She has the Visa bill.
Correct,
Right, just
Your
a
Honor.
second. She has the Visa bill. She has the Visa bill. She has the check stub for $4,000 and fond memories of you. That's what she has. You think that that's fair?
Your Honor.
No. Your Honor, I know who I am. Do you think that that's fair?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why did you break up, sir?
I
That's
told
my
her
point.
either he goes or I go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Thomas Daniels says his former live-in, Susan Creech, is mad because he left her after 8 years. Susan says he left with the Camaro she paid for.
So how are we going to make it fair, sir?
Well, if I can convince you that I...
Order.
You asked me a question earlier about
If you can convince me what?
if I can convince you that there was no she bought this Friday we went and took a look at the car. We didn't talk about the car all weekend long. Monday she goes, do you want to go and let's go and get your car? And I never mentioned it to her. Not one word did I say to her. Friday we talked about it. We discussed it. I said, I'll put the Firebird up for sale.
Just a
Finally-
minute. Let's go back.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You said, you discussed it, and you said, I'll put the Firebird up for sale. Whatever we get to the Firebird, we can put towards this, and then we will pay it off.
No.
No.
No. I said I would put the Firebird up for sale.
For what?
Huh? Well, I can't drive both cars, Your Honor.
And what are we going to do with the money that you got from the Firebird?
Okay.
Oh,
We
not
had a
okay.
joint. We had
Not
a joint.
okay.
we
Answer
had,
my
Your Honor,
question.
we had a joint account.
Just a second.
My checks went with her account. Her checks went in her account. Okay. She had all
My
the Visa
check, just a
cards.
second. My checks, you just said, went with her account.
You're damn right.
And her check,
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
my checks went in her account, and her checks went in
Her account.
her account.
Joint.
We had a joint account. Okay.
So that all the checks went together.
Right. Who had
You
it
were going to sell the Firebird
and put it back
in the joint account.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's okay. So that you have money to pay for the Visa, the $1,100 paying
Very
off the
good.
Visa and all that stuff. Right? Just a minute. Am I right so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then you didn't sell the Firebird, and I am correct. She has the memories and the bills, and you have the cars and the stereo.
Correct.
So then what's the problem?
Ms. Creech,
Yes.
I don't see, quite frankly, sir, that there's any problem. You bought this car, and there was an understanding, a 7-year relationship, there was an understanding that you were going to use this car together. Evidently, you did the driving. She was the passenger in the car most of the time when you traveled together. You were going to have one car. You were going to sell the Firebird. You were going to have the Camaro. Right?
She has her own car, Your Honor.
That's true, but I also have my own vehicles, which I drive.
She can't drive my car, Your Honor. She knew going into this deal, going into this proposition that it was a stick, Your Honor. She can't drive a stick.
He always buys cars that have sticks. Every
They're-
single car
they're my
he's ever
vehicles.
owned.
But just a second, if you buy, they're your vehicles, if you buy them, she bought this one, and you
With
say it was,
our money, Your Honor.
What do you mean with our- just a minute,
It was
she
a
says-
joint account. It was a joint account, Your Honor. It was our money.
Just a second.
My money went in there also. It was not just her money.
hold on, $4,000. She said this $4,000 came from a
In 7 years' time, I
I'm
have
not
worked
talk-
more than $4,000, Your Honor.
No, we're not
I
talking-
have
just
put
a minute.
money in this bank.
No,
Just
no.
a second. Talking about the $4,000
Right.
that she took out of an account. Did she take that out of your joint account?
No.
No.
Well, then that wasn't your joint money.
Funny, we
We're
had
not
no
going
money
back
in
to
it,
the,
huh?
Listen, sir, we're not going back to the year of the flood. You were together 7 years. You ate a lot of meals during those 7 years.
Drank a lot
you
of
paid a
beer.
lot of rent. You whatever. She says you drank a lot of booze.
Lots.
Whatever it was, you lived over that 7 years. And you can't say, well, I must have given her $4,000 over that 7 years. That doesn't sound right to you. This
No.
$4,000, she says, came out of a probate account when someone in her family died and left her some money.
Right.
But is it your position that she bought you these things as a gift as a gift?
As a gift.
Why? Because she loved you?
Yeah.
And because she thought you were going to be together?
I thought, yeah.
Okay. So that dream lasted another 4 weeks after she bought you
there's
this
a lot
stuff.
more to it, Your Honor.
I know. I'm not interested in what happened 6 years ago and 5 years ago. What I want to know, sir, is what was the precipitous for your breaking up 4 weeks after you bought this car?
Okay, Your Honor,
That's me.
she has a son, a 19-year-old son who does not work, has been graduated out of school, does nothing more than run around with gangs, does nothing more than get stopped for, doesn't get stopped for tagging, gets thrown in jail for tagging. I've told her that she goes to work at 11 o'clock at night. I stay home and sleep.
Why did you break up, sir?
I
That's
told
my
her
point.
either he goes or I go. Okay? He was staying. I said, hasta la vista. And I left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As long as I never have to see or hear from you again, I'm happy.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ex-lovers Susan Creech and Tom Daniels are fighting over the Camaro she bought just before they broke up.
2 weeks after I'm gone, she kicks him out of the house and then says to me, well, you were right.
Not 2 weeks.
Just a second. Just a second.
She says,
Hold
you're
it.
right, you're right.
Right.
I said, but what did it take me leaving the house for? Because we've been fighting about it for months, literally months. And it got to the point where I just said, hey, I'm beating my head against the wall. I come home here and try and get a good night's sleep, and all I'm doing is listening to boom boxes at 2:30 in the morning. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go down there, and I got tired of threatening the kid. Okay? Doesn't prove that I'm a big man because I can threaten a 19-year-old kid. All right?
So
I got
why-
tired of it.
So why are you angry with her?
Angry with her?
Shh. Yeah, why are you angry with her? You gave her a
Because
choice.
I gave her all the warnings
No,
in
no,
the world.
let
Your
her
Honor,
go.
I gave her all the warnings in the world. I said, look, either he goes or I go. I gave her 30 days. 30 days came and passed. I gave her 60.
You have
what
children?
was I going to do?
You have children?
Do I have children? Of my
why do you
own,
keep
yes.
Why do you keep repeating
Yes,
my
Your Honor,
questions?
I do.
How old are your children, sir?
21, 27, and 16, I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
I don't see them.
You don't see them.
No,
Why is that?
I don't see my children.
Well,
That's not fair.
then let me suggest this to you, sir. It's very difficult for a parent, in this case a mother, to be faced with an ultimatum, even from a maid of 7 years, that says it's either your son or me. When you say you got 30 days to choose your son or me, even though he's a pain in the neck, listen, that's not an easy choice for a mother to make. She clearly cared for you. She cared enough for you, and she doesn't look like a lady who's got money coming out of every pore. So she clearly cared enough for you to go out and say, you want this car, you really like it, here's $4,000, I'm going to buy this car because I know it will make you happy if we have this car. And you also like a nice stereo in the car, I'm going to take money out for that too, so that
True.
you can have a nice stereo in the car. So she's clearly a lady who cared for you. But when you tell her you got 30 days to choose between him or me, even if this son of hers is a real royal pain in the rump, which I believe he probably is.
He was.
Right? Because
So was he.
afterwards you told him out. It's not easy to accept that kind of ultimatum from anybody when it comes to a child.
Well, the
So
problem was, though, he had plenty of chances. He's done some really choice things in his life. I felt like I was giving everybody chances, but he's such a selfish person. He has to have everything to himself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not a very difficult decision to make. You left, you had been having problems, according to your statement, Mr. Daniels, for months with regard to this boy.
So why did he take both cars? I'd like to know why.
I wasn't planning on leaving one to have it trashed.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on. How about the
Mr.
how about,
Daniels,
how about the
Mr.
Firebird?
Daniels.
How about the Fiaro? How about the Fiaro? Who keyed the Fiaro?
Me.
Thank you. I'm going to leave a Pontiac sitting there by itself, Your Honor.
Why would I?
For this woman to key up again?
Mr. Daniels,
Doesn't make any
Mr.
sense.
Daniels,
It still
why
wasn't
didn't
her car.
Why didn't you bring leave her the Camaro?
Pardon me?
Because he wanted
What,
the
just a
best
second,
car?
what word didn't you understand?
I wanted the Camaro.
Because he
Yeah,
was
but just a...
Good.
You wanted the Camaro, Mr. Daniels, but she paid for it. I want, but she paid for it. If you were leaving after 4 weeks, it seems to me a little disingenuous of you, sir, to leave and take a car that she had just purchased for you.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Need help in a divorce dispute? Call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think she bought, and I keep saying bought this car for you to use because she had faith that your relationship was going to continue?
Yeah, I'm sure she had.
Ah, okay. It's no different a situation to me, sir, from somebody giving somebody an engagement ring. And it's always been my position that when a man buys a woman an engagement ring, that's given under a sort of a contract that they have, that they will be together and that they will marry. And in the event that that marriage does not take place, it has always been my position that the ring has to go back to the man. Now, a lot of women say, listen, he gave that to me, it was a gift. But the gift was given with the intention, that ring was given with the intention of the marriage taking place. When that doesn't happen, the contract is over. This car was bought in contemplation of the two of you being together. Maybe if you had been together for 20 years, I would say, well, you know, you were together for 20 years after you bought this car, so that was sort of fulfilled. But there is something that doesn't sit right with me here that you left in a month's time, taking the car, the stereo, as well as the alarm. The alarm should have gone off in your head. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Is there a way that you can make him bring the other car up from Riverside? Because he wants me to go down and get it.
Madam, let me explain something to you. You've just told me this man drinks.
Mm-hmm.
He is selfish.
True.
He's self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you an ultimatum with regard to your child, right?
True.
He perhaps has not been totally faithful to your relationship.
Big time.
Big time?
Big time.
You just won a
You're right.
judgment for $5,000. What do you want a 20-year-old Pontiac for? Right?
True.
Perfect. $5,000 for the plaintiff.
I desire excuse, you may step out.
On the next Judge.
Your Honor, this is number 71 on the calendar in the matter of LeBeuf versus Corlett.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Judges, parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
You know the defendant. You had a birthday party. You say he broke your door, the door to your house. Tell me about it.
I had a birthday party, a dual fiesta party. It was.
What is that? What's a dual fiesta party?
Meaning two people threw it. My friend and I threw it.
For
It was-
yourselves?
Yes, for ourselves. It wasn't just a regular party. We rented a tent. We had a band. We had an open bar, food. Chris was one of the guests. He came. He brought his brother Matt, which is the witness, and his younger brother, and his younger brother's friend. The whole party went on throughout the night. I guess one of the younger brother's friends got in a fight with another person at the party. Matt ended up coming over to break up the fight. Matt ended up getting knocked out. Chris came running over, saw Matt knocked out, turned to me and said, call 911. And I looked over at Matt. I did not see him in the shape of 911 emergency. And I said,
What do
no.
you mean you didn't see him in the shape of 911 emergency?
He was getting up. He was standing up.
But he had
was
been
in-
knocked to the ground.
I believe so.
What do you mean you believe so? If he was getting up, he had to be on the ground.
Well, yeah, he was getting up off the ground.
Right. So his brother came over and said, call 911
Mm-hmm.
because someone had just assaulted his younger brother.
Yes.
And what did you do?
I said, why don't you take him to the hospital that's about a mile down the street? Chris ignored me, went over to my front door, kicked down my front door, went in, called 911, came back out, grabbed his brother's friends, whom, by the way, were underage, the people that he brought to the party, and was allowing them to drink.
No,
Left-
you were allowing them to drink. If it
Well,
was
I
in
didn't
your
know who
house,
they were. Chris brought them. They were actually uninvited guests.
then you should have told them to leave.
I didn't know. There was a lot of people at the party. Chris ended up leaving the party before 911 had got there. 911 arrived. I had to explain to 911 why there was no victim on the scene. They were telling me they were going to charge me and they would let it go this time. Chris came over the next day with Matt to pick up a friend of theirs that spent the night and still had not gone to the hospital. Matt was saying, oh, you know, I'm hurt and all this stuff. It still had not gone to the hospital. So to go on with the story, so then I said to Chris agreed, you know, they kicked down the door and that he would fix it.
Why was the door locked?
Because we had people going around to the side door because we had carpeting. We had people going through where there was linoleum.
Okay,
So-
I mean, if
and
they
Chris-
had to use any of the parts of the house, like the bathroom, they went go around the side of the house.
We had signs saying bathroom this way.
So, is how she related the story pretty much the way it happened?
Well, it's colorful, but it's highly inaccurate.
I'm here to listen.
Boy, I don't know where to begin. I saw my
Don't
brother...
begin at the flood. Just begin at the time you saw your brother assaulted.
I saw my brother assaulted out of the corner of my eye, and he was hit in the head with the gentleman's fist, and then kicked in the head.
You mean when he was down?
When he was down, he was kicked in the head. In fact, he had a CAT scan. I mean, he was unconscious for what I considered a long period of time.
Even a minute is a lot.
I ran over to him. Miss LaBeouf, like she said, was there. I did ask her to call 911. She said, just give him a minute, he'll be fine. And he was unconscious, completely unconscious. I asked her again to call 911. She would do nothing, so I ran to the front door, which was the closest door to where the incident took place, and it was locked. And I kicked the door in, and I dialed 911. And I have a police report here that documents exactly what I did.
Why didn't you wait for the police, sir?
When I came back to my brother, Missy was still there. He slowly regained consciousness, and I asked him. I said, "Matt, what can I do for you?" I mean, I've never been so scared in my life. I mean, and he said, "Just get me out of here. Just get me out of here." We didn't know who this guy was. We'd never met him. We'd never even seen him. We didn't know if he had 10 friends there.
You're Matt.
Yes.
Step up, sir. How did this incident begin?
Well, after I was assaulted, I really, don't have much recollection of what happened.
Immediately
okay,
before.
I was talking to one of my friends who was also a guest at the party, and like Missy said, there had been an altercation earlier in the night with this young man that was at the party, and I remember that they had exchanged words, and there was a fight ready to be broken out. So I turned around with actually like this, because I was talking to another young lady, and I said, "Excuse me," and I said, "You know what? We don't want to fight." I said, "We're here for a birthday party. No one wants to fight." I turned my head, and the next thing I knew he hit me right in the head. I fell to the ground, shaking like this. I tried to get up like this, and I turned my head, and he booted me right in the face, and out I went. And after that, that's really what happened.
Since February 28th, there's been a Class 1 felony assault with a deadly weapon out for this gentleman's arrest.
What they're forgetting to tell you also is Chris was allegedly trying to blackmail me to find out this person's name for him, or else he said he wouldn't fix my door.
It would seem to me that since this incident occurred in your home and one of your invited guests was assaulted, you would want to be as cooperative as possible and find out the name of the person.
Yeah.
Why did it require this kind of blackmail in order to get you to get out there and get this name for them.
It didn't require anything. They were making a mountain out of a molehill out of this whole situation.
That's not a mountain out of a molehill, madam.
He could have been killed.
I want to explain something to you. If somebody had come up to you, just you, at your birthday party, punched you in the face, and then kicked you in the head, I guarantee you, you wouldn't be standing there saying to me, he's making a mountain out of a molehill.
Your Honor,
Shut!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen, when it looks as if you're winning, you're supposed to shut up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The whole thing is they were drinking all night long. It was 2:30 in the morning, and they really didn't know what they were doing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chris Corlett says that he had no choice but to kick Missy LaBeouf's door down at Missy's party.
Miss LaBeouf, I have a couple of questions for you. My sense is that I'm not getting a full story from you with regard to his condition at the time he asked you to call 911. Because common sense would tell me that you were having a birthday party and the prospect of having the police arrive because of an emergency was not something that you relished. So I doubt whether he was as in good shape as you suggest he was when this young man asked you to call 911.
No, that had nothing to do with it. The party, it was 2:30 already. The party had been going all night long. I cared more about my friend. I've known Matt since 8th grade. I went to homecoming with him my freshman year.
So why didn't you just go inside and call 911?
I would have, but Chris was completely irate and drunk and overreacting. If Chris said, Missy, go in and call 911, and I looked over and I saw Matt in a completely knocked out condition, I would have. Matt was getting up. First of all, you can ask my witness.
He said that he was punched in the face and kicked in the head, and he has no recollection of anything after that.
Then why did Matt go to the hospital that night is what I want to know.
When did you go to the hospital, sir?
I went to the hospital the next morning, right after I left Missy's house. First I went to the hospital, and then I went over to the sheriff's station, and I filed a report. And my doctor, an urgent care in Glendale, said that I was very, very lucky to be alive.
Don't tell me what your doctor said.
I'm just.
But that's when you went to the doctor the next day. Ms. LaBeouf, don't you believe you have any responsibility towards his injuries?
No, because I don't feel that I started the fight.
The fight, it took place in your home. It took place in your home.
You know who started the fight? The minors that they brought to the party.
When you have a party in your home, you almost act as an insurer for the guests. You understand that?
Yes.
Well, you know, I assume that you haven't sued Miss LaBeouf for the injuries that you sustained.
Not yet, Your Honor.
No. Well, how do you feel about this door?
You know, as Missy said, initially I felt badly about the door. We have been friends for a long time. Then, as I had time to think about it, I thought, why am I fixing this door? I did what I would have done the same for you or her or anyone else. And if it had been Missy who had been laying in the bushes and I'd kicked the front door in to call 911, there's no way she would have sued me. If I'd been at someone else's house and I had no choice to do it, and if I had it to do over again, I'd do it 100 times. I'd kick 10 doors in. That's what I had to do. Ethically and morally, if not legally, I felt I was obligated to do it. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know, when someone has head trauma, you don't know how serious it is. And he was knocked completely unconscious.
And later today,
That's not my problem, that's your problem. I went to where I was supposed to go.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chris Corlett says that he had no choice but to kick Missy LaBeouf's door down at Missy's party.
This young man is going to have a coronary unless he comes up and tells me what he has to say. I see him out of the corner of my eye. I assume you have something germane to say to me, sir. Do you?
Sure.
Sure. You better be.
Well,
Your name first.
my name's Ed.
Ed what?
Witness. Ed Marchand. After Matt was assaulted, he was laying on the ground and he was attempting to get up. And Chris, being an older brother, was concerned, and rightfully so. And I was right there with him when he called 911. I was going to go and assist him to do that. I almost went to grab him, and I almost was struck in the face when he went to kick the door with the back of his foot. It was right there, and I couldn't believe it. He actually managed to kick the door down in one kick.
Did you witness this assault, sir?
I didn't actually see him getting struck in the head, but I was less than 10, 15 feet away.
But you saw him on the ground.
I saw him on the ground.
And you saw his brother upset.
Yes.
And you heard his brother, defendant, asked Miss LaBeouf to call 911.
Yes.
And she did not go.
She did not go. I offered to
She did not go.
She did not go.
He was standing with his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked the host of the party to please go and call the police, because his brother had just been assaulted, correct?
Right.
The host did not call, correct?
Correct.
This case is dismissed. Thank you.
All right, sir, excuse me. Step out.
No.
I'll back door to your right, please.
He made hostile phone calls. He was rude. He was mean.
Well, I never
he
made
was
phone calls. You guys called me.
Yeah. With Chris, no. I never really had any respect for him, and everybody in our town doesn't anymore because of this case.
Party's on Westlock versus Gimbalane. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Andrew Westlock put bail up for his friend DeEtte Gimberlin in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now he's suing her because she didn't show up at the court and he lost the money.
All right, you're tooling down the road in New Mexico with some friends in a car, correct?
No, Marshall, Minnesota.
Marshall, Minnesota. How did I get that wrong? Let's see your papers. Well, okay. Marshall, Minnesota. And you get pulled over for speeding. Neither one of you were driving, correct? You're passengers in the car.
Yep.
Policeman tells you all to step outside, takes identification from everybody, and you had an outstanding warrant.
Yes.
For what?
Theft by check. That's what they told me, which was the first I ever heard of it.
I doubt that.
No, seriously. And if I had a warrant, then they would have came and picked me up a long time ago.
There's a warrant outstanding for your arrest.
Right.
You were a nice guy. What did you do?
Well, she got taken to jail, and then the next morning I signed for her to get out of jail on a bail bonds.
And did you have to put up any money?
It was, she had the money. She gave it to me
Paid
before
my
she
own
went.
money.
She
Can't
paid.
hear
She
two
gave me,
people.
she gave me the $130-some that I had to pay to get her out the next day.
Okay, so you went to the bail bondsman,
Correct.
gave the bail bondsman $130.
Correct.
She got out of jail,
Correct.
and she was given a date to appear in court.
Correct.
Right? And what was the date you were supposed to appear on the warrant, madam?
Well, he's just telling me this morning that I had to appear in Marshall, Minnesota. But why would I appear in Marshall, Minnesota? My theft by check had nothing to do with Marshall, Minnesota. So they gave me a court date in Minnesota, which was in Minnetonka, where my court date was, and that's what I did. I went to the court date they gave me, which is right here on this piece of paper. If you'd like to show her. And that was my first appearance. So I went to court like they asked me, okay?
Okay, so you're saying you went to court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you tell me what happened to you, because you're here.
I got a nice little nifty note saying that the defendant, DeEtte, did not show up, and we were supposed to appear July 18th, 1996 in Ramsey County Court to deal with this bail issue. I don't know what about her
Because
issues.
the bail bondsman said
He wants his money.
he wants his money because she didn't appear where she was supposed to, even though she may have misunderstood where she was supposed to appear. Anyway, you got stuck with how much money?
$1,193.06.
Tell me how that happened. You went to court?
Yeah, and I didn't have enough money to pay the bail bondsman up front, so we decided on a
No,
little...
tell me what happened when you went to court. I'm really curious. You went to court and said what?
Well, all I could say is I have to pay it because she never showed up. That's all I could do.
No, just a second. Did you try to contact her when you were notified that she didn't appear on this case that she had, and you were going to be stuck for this $1,193.06? 6 cents?
I asked her if she'd pay me, and she said she would, and I ain't seen a dime.
Can I say something now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, he never contacted me.
Mary.
His mother contacted me and called me all kinds of foul names, saying she was going to sue me and everything, so she should be here.
Miss
with me.
Kimberline, you're given a court date. You think that if you don't appear on that court date, they send you a second invite? The answer to that is yes or no. They don't send you a second invite.
They didn't send me a first invite.
They don't have to send you a first
Then how do
invitation.
I know to go?
Because you're given the date when you are released.
Right, and it was for Ridgedale Court, not Ramsey County Court.
Good. The court made a mistake. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
The court made a mistake.
Yes.
Why should he have to deal with that?
He should be calling, like I said, why can't we call and get this cleared up? I went to court the date they gave me when I was
get it cleared up.
Listen, ma'am. Ma'am, listen. The date they gave me, if you give me back that piece of paper, I'll tell you the date that they gave me when I was released in Marshall, Minnesota. I only received one date. It's on that paper, and I went to the court.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's an innocent bystander to this whole problem. He got stuck with this bill. If it was a mistake, it's a mistake that you, not him, have to deal with. Why should he have to go back to court and spend time and effort? There was no warrant outstanding for his arrest.
Right, and I agree with that. I agree with that, but if I wouldn't have been called and call all kinds of filthy names while they're trying to make me call and find out what the problem was, I would have did it no problem. But his mother called day after day, was very rude and cursed me out, called me filthy names. No, I'm not going to do nothing for her.
Well, Ms. Kimberlane, let me ask you this question. The first time his mother called you, did you say, oh, listen to me? Did you say, oh, I'm really sorry, that was really a mistake. I was supposed to be there. I will immediately, first thing tomorrow, get on the stick and go and find out what happened because you surely shouldn't be out this money? Or did you say something like this? That's not my problem, that's your problem. I went to where I was supposed to go. What did you say to his mother when she called?
I asked the lady, well, what do you mean, why didn't I go to court? I said, I did go to court. She said, well, you didn't go to court on the 18th. I said, well, I don't have a court date for the 18th. And that's as far as it got. Then she got nasty, I got nasty.
Just a second. Did you say to her, well, there must be some sort of a problem, and I will take care of it because your son certainly shouldn't be out this money. He wasn't at fault. The court may have been at fault. Maybe I was at fault. I will certainly take care of it. Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you should have said, so I can understand it if his mother got really annoyed. Because this young man is a very mild-mannered young man. I'm surprised he's not here hooting and hollering. I mean, he went to court and he said, they said to him, you owe $1,100. And he said, okay, where do I pay? Give me a break. Give me a break. Listen to me. You get into high gear, take a couple of vitamins, get down to the court and try to work this out because it's going to cost you $1,193.06. That's what you owe him. And then you take care of your problem with the court because it's not his problem, it's yours. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,193.06. Thank you.
All right, as I excuse, you may step out. I'll be back on the calendar in the matter of Trombley versus Trombley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You two folks are married, in the process of getting a divorce. You've been married for 2 years. You have a 2-year-old child, Mrs. Trombley. I have your complaint. You are seeking $5,000 from your husband for emotional stress.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'd like you to tell me about it. You have a countersuit. I'll hear that in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm really suing because he broke into my best friend's house.
I tell you, this has nothing to do with your best friend's house. There's nothing in here in the complaint about your best friend's house.
Well, he broke in there and attacked me.
Well, let me hear about it.
That's what brought this complaint.
Let me hear about it. The attacking you is something else. Let me hear about the attacking you.
Once he entered the house?
Yeah.
He ran through the house and threw me against the wall and kicked me and then left with our daughter screaming in the living room.
What had precipitated this?
I hadn't come home the night before because...
Why not?
Because I was afraid of getting hit. And when I did come home in the morning, he raised his hand to me, and if he hadn't seen my friend, he would have hit me.
That's untrue. There was no threat of violence of her coming home at any point, ever. She was with her friend partying late into the night.
He says you do drugs, Mrs. Trombley, and that you depleted the bank account of your family, took checks out, forged checks, ran up bills, forced them into bankruptcy, all because you were doing drugs and staying out, and partying with your friends, etc. Any of that true?
Some of it's true.
What's true?
I do have a past history of drug abuse.
We're not talking about past. We're talking about current.
No, I don't.
What makes you think she has a drug problem?
Oh, I have all kinds of ample evidence to prove that she has a drug problem. Just as of July 18th, I got a call from Burbank Police Department who had just arrested a drug dealer, stating that he had my calling card. I have here 12 pages of the calls that this man made with my calling card. Who was given?
Who is this man?
This man's name is nicknamed Morbid.
You know that person?
Yes, I do.
Well, what does he do for a living?
He deals drugs, right, Jen? He deals drugs.
What does he do for a living?
He doesn't really do much for a living.
He deals drugs. And this is Jen's main drug dealer. This is a man that she went to Mexico with.
While you were married?
What? Last month.
Is that right?
Yes.
Terrific.
My wife disappeared for 3 days on the premise that she was going to look for jobs. At 2 p.m., with no hassle, no fighting, we had made love in the morning. At 2 p.m., she said, I'm on my way to go put some applications in. I did not see my wife for 3 days, at which she had taken both sets of our car keys and left me in the care of our daughter. I have a full-time job. I had to take 3 days off from work. On the third day, risking financial ruin and losing my job, I had to take my 2-year-old daughter to work with me. No calls from my wife.
Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Trombley?
Yes, that's all true. And it was all because I was afraid to come home because he was hitting me.
Afraid to come home, so she takes a vacation with a drug dealer to Tijuana, Mexico.
Mr. Trombley,
Order.
Let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. I read your answer to her complaint. Her complaint is nonsense. I don't know whether you hit her when you got into the house.
I'll explain to you exactly the events preceding that incident.
Your Honor, we have 2 separate police reports for domestic violence.
We have
and a
one
restraining order
police
that was
report.
put on against him.
Was there
for
ever a
my
trial
protection.
on that restraining order?
Yes, there was.
And what happened to it?
And what happened to it?
Today, that case was settled and dropped. Plead out.
What do you mean, settle, drop, plead out? What does that mean?
I pleaded no contest to 1 count of battery.
Does that have to do with this incident?
It has to do with the incident where I pushed my wife away from a front door for not taking our personal life into a hallway.
Was that at her friend's house? Just
Yes.
a second.
Yes.
This is the incident at the friend's house.
Yes, let me...
Let me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll ask you to fill in so that there is some semblance here. According to your answer, she had gone over to her friend Lori's house, right? And this was after she had disappeared for a few days.
No, that's...
She had already disappeared. There were periods of time, according to your answer, sir, that she had left you in care to care for your daughter.
Yes.
And you were afraid that when she went to Lori's house and didn't come home right away, that she was going to do it again.
Well, let me explain a little bit earlier in the evening. It was that very morning that I was late for work. My wife came home at 6:30, where I would have had to have left at 10 of 6 to make it to work. She knows this. We've had many, many fights about it. It's when she showed up with Lori, I did go like this in anger, not to hit her, but just as a show. I'm this angry. How could you do this to me again? That very night, when I came home from work, Lori and Jen and Aubrey were there in the house. They said, we're going to take Aubrey out and get some shoes. They left. They came back at, at 7:30 p.m. while I was watching TV. My daughter comes through the front door crying. But my wife did not come through the door. I opened up the front door, and my wife is at the bottom of the stairs and says to me, I'm going to the car for a minute. 5 minutes later, she didn't come back from the car, and the car was gone. It's at that time that I assumed she probably went back over to Lori's. I drove over there with my daughter, and that's where she was.
Well,
I found
I
that
came in
that
the
was
house
kind of
if you
peculiar.
weren't screaming your head off.
I wasn't
Mr.
screaming at anything.
Mr. Trombley.
Yes. May I continue?
No. Because while I can smell a drug problem from at least 15 feet away, and she has a drug problem.
Yes, that's true.
Based upon my assessment of her demeanor and based upon the things that she has said to me so far, I have some trouble with your response. And let me tell you why, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm just a hardworking guy. I have no record. I've never been expelled from school. I'm nothing but a decent guy that was raised the right way.
And later today,
You came in with your girlfriend, Christina,
Girlfriend?
who now lives with you, who
I'm going to
is-
have him live with
who
me?
is your lover, admit it, okay?
Okay.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Russell Trombley denies his wife Jennifer's allegations of abuse and claims she's guilty of neglecting their daughter.
You have a 2-year-old daughter. You say you know your wife has a current drug problem.
Yes.
If your wife has a current drug problem, I don't care what you have to do. You make sure that your wife is never left in charge of your child. You didn't do that. What you wanted her to do was to be around to take care of your daughter. Just a second. And I don't care if you have to get a babysitter. I don't care if you have to quit your job. I don't care what you have to do. You do not leave a drug user in charge of a 2-year-old baby, and I don't care if the drug user is your wife. Number one. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Number two, according to your answer, sir, you went over to the house, to this Laurie's house, because you didn't want to be in the position again of having to look for somebody to take care of your daughter when you had to go to work the next morning and you had an early morning call. Is that right?
Yes. We've exhausted all of our daycare issues. My wife left our daycare with a $300 bill that we owed them.
Sir.
We had no one else. We have no relatives here.
So let me tell you this. There are many people, unfortunately, in your position whose mate, whether it be a husband or a wife, has a drug addiction problem. You're supposed to try to be supportive of each other if you can, but at that point, there is only one innocent. And that innocent is a child, especially a 2-year-old child that cannot protect herself. So at that point, you can't worry about her anymore. She's got a drug problem and hangs around with Mork or whatever his name is, Dork. Those are the kind of people that you hang around with if you've got a drug problem.
That's all she hangs out with.
Drug dealers.
All drug dealers. That's everybody she knows.
Well, then, sir, if you allow your daughter to hang around with her and to hang around with drug dealers, then you are as guilty of neglect as she is. Do you understand me? In my eyes.
With all due respect, Judge, these are events that have only come to my knowledge within the last couple of months. All of these things have been hidden and lied about.
Sir, during that time, during that couple of month period, you still left your daughter in your wife's care.
But I was only doing that on the premise that she was over at her friend's house. I didn't know that there was drugs involved at that night.
You can't have it both ways. We understand each other. You cannot have it both ways.
There was not at any point that I felt my daughter was in danger from my wife.
I'm telling you that it's not true. What I'm telling you is, if you are mated to a drug user who cavorts with other drug users and abusers and dealers, you are a neglectful parent if you leave a 2-year-old child with her.
I was doing everything I could.
All right. So, let me get to your cross-complaint because I'm going to take care of this nonsense right away. You say that she spent a lot of your family money?
She spent all of our money.
Good. That's what happens. It's a very good idea for you to get out of this marriage, to take charge of your daughter, and to start building a life with her, if that's what you think that you can do. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's everything I'm seeking and aiming for. But
very good.
These are the events that handle our lives every day, though. While I'm trying to litigate this, I am being forced to move out of California, forced to give up my dreams, forced to give up my career.
That's very sad. You made a mistake. That's what happens when people make a mistake.
I made a grand mistake, and my pleas...
That's what happens when you make a mistake.
I understand that.
Good.
But understand, Judge, that I have pleaded and begged my wife to get drug counseling, to stop fraternizing with these people.
This case is dismissed. The counterclaim is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
I want to get as far away from this woman as I can. I believe she's nothing but pure evil and will not help herself. I don't think there's any saving her.
And now the next case.
Parties on Silvas versus Boga. Step forward.
70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger, a woman he says was his lover and bride-to-be. According to Frank, when their plans to move in together fell through, Christina kept his furniture. But Christina says she and Frank were never boyfriend and girlfriend, and the furniture was a gift.
Mr. Silvas, according to your papers, sir, you are a recent widower.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were married to your wife for 45 years?
No, 41.
41 years. Shortly after her death, you met the defendant.
Right, but 18 months after.
And she was selling some sort of electrical
Well, the night before I met her, somebody called the house was to make an appointment to sell mattresses. And I told the gentleman, says, I'm not going to buy one. He said, well, we got a new sales person. He didn't tell me it was a male or a female, you know.
cut to the chase.
Okay.
She came to sell you a new mattress.
Right,
And according to your complaint, sold you a lot more.
right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I slept over there about three or four different times. In fact, we went to Laughlin. First time we went to Laughlin.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger because he claims she kept his furniture when their romance ended.
Over the course of several months,
Almost a year.
you gave her a lot of money.
Right,
According to your papers, gave her loans of over $30,000.
Right.
But you know that you can't get that here.
right.
What you're suing for here is a return of your furniture.
Yes, ma'am. I mean,
So
yes,
tell
Your Honor.
me how she came to have your furniture in her possession.
Okay, when her roommate moved out, I was supposed to, move in, see? So, I says, well, we'll take my furniture up there to sell my house. Then she kept putting the dates off,
What dates?
that I was supposed to move in. But prior to that, Your Honor, she said she would marry me.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Yes, and she kept putting that off.
Okay. So you asked her to marry you. When did you ask her to marry you?
Before the first of the year, first time.
And what did she say?
She says, I don't know you that good, let's wait a while.
So what happened? The romance is clearly over.
Well, I got evidence right here that really turned me off. She came into my house, took two blank checks and forged them. One for $1,000, one for $350. Then she came back into the house and grabbed those two checks and burned them up. That's what she told me. She burned them. But I got copies from the bank. I got the police report on each one
When
of
did
them.
you say she? When do you say she did this?
I didn't find out about it till May, actually, Your Honor, when I got my bank statements.
How come he gave you this money?
Well,
I assume you're going to tell me he gave you the money.
Yes, he plays a victim well. He was always there to be very helpful to me, and was there to volunteer anytime I needed something. We started up a business together. This money that he's talking about that he lent to me was based on this business we started together, and any money that he gave me was to help me get this business up and going, and he was, in return, got a percentage of this business.
Just a second, did he get anything in return?
Yes, when he was doing his job.
Just a minute, what did he get in return?
He got a percentage of the business, which was 10%.
How much does that translate to in cash?
About $600-700 in cash.
So he invested thousands and he got $600-700.
Let me explain something though. He stopped doing the business, and ultimately the business fell. It's not even in existence now because he wouldn't give me the information so I can continue to run this business. He kept it.
He gave you a lot of money, madam. I have checks here, a lot of money.
Okay.
A lot.
Your Honor, he's 69 years old. I'm 30. This man's got 45 years on me. He decides to give me money or do what he decides to do. You think he'd have... It's all been his choice. It's all been his choice from the beginning to do these things. Frank did everything...
Did you at any time discuss with him getting married?
No, he discussed it with me.
When for the first time?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you. It was literally the first time, 60 days after I knew him, was the first time he asked me to marry him.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. And he's a heavy drinker, and I have a baby, and there's a big age difference. And I told him, I said, no, I think
a big age difference is 40 years. You know, a big age difference is 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. 40 years is a big age difference. Did you ever say to him, no, sir, you're too old and I'm not going to be involved with you romantically?
I never said he was too old. The age difference was a concern, but it was his drinking that was more of a concern to me.
But that didn't stop you from taking money from him.
For the business, we were business partners.
I'm not talking about the business. So far, the business he got a couple $100s from, if I believe you, and he put in thousands according to these checks. And it's not made out to a business. It's made out directly to you, and you cash the checks. It's not made out to a business account. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. But I'm telling you now, don't piddle on my leg and tell me it's raining, madam. I'm too smart for you. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you took money from him because he was prepared to give it to you and you were prepared to take it, that's one thing. He's not suing you for the money. Yet. So don't give me any baloney about business. Business checks, if they're made to a business, they're put in a business name. Your business, I assume, had a name. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the business?
Wilbur Banks and Associates.
So if he was lending money to the business, it would have been business checks, not payable to you.
Okay, when I came to him and discussed certain things with him, he was there to help me. He said, whatever you need, I'm here to help you. I asked him what he wanted in return. He said, just to be close to you, to be your friend. And I said that was fine. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you used them. Now, let's talk about the furniture.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I want to know if the following things are in your home, madam. Butcher block.
Pardon me?
Show this to her, please. Are those things in your home?
Yes, they are.
Good. Can I have it, please? Court will draft an order that within 3 days of today, all those items will be picked up and returned to Mr. Silvas. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And they better be in the same condition that they were when he gave them to you. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excused. You may step out.
And on the next.
Your Honor, this is number 174 in the calendar in the matter of Leporati versus Shottel. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
You lived together for a while in his parents' home. Is that right?
No, I always resided at my father's house, but I did spend time at his mother's.
Did you ever sleep there?
Yes.
More than once a week?
Yes.
All right. According to your complaint, he owes you $350. $250 that you gave him to pay back some money for his daughter's school,
His son,
daycare,
yes.
or his son's school. How old is this child?
4.5.
Were you married to his mother?
Yes, I was for 4 years.
And when were you divorced?
About 3.5 years ago.
So how old is the child?
4.5. He was 1.
He was 1 when you
Yes.
separated. And in addition to the $250 that you lent him for the child's daycare, you had purchased a camcorder together for $200. When you split up, he kept the camcorder.
Correct.
Your defense to this action, sir, is?
I have the camcorder, yes.
Okay. You have the camcorder and you
I've
paid?
always had possession of it, yes.
And she paid?
We went in on it together as like everything that we do together. We just we buy something, we owned it, and it just surprised me that she asked for the $100 back. So
Because he decided since he broke up, it was his house, so it became his possession, no longer mine.
Okay, so let's take care of this $100 camcorder first. You weren't married?
No.
So you each put in half of the camcorder?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It was $200. You kept the camcorder.
Yep.
Is that fair?
I think it's fair.
Tell me why.
Because for one, it was my idea to buy it. It was my partner that I bought it from, and she's never even used it, and it needed work, so I had to pay for the work to be done on it.
When did it need work?
We didn't even use it, but maybe a couple of weeks, and then I needed to buy a new battery for it. The charger went bad, so it wasn't even working. I paid for all that.
But he's forgetting to let you know that when we bought the camcorder, I put up the $200 up front, and then he paid me back the $100 for it.
Just a second. You say here in your answer to her complaint that the friend that you bought this camera from was a really good friend, and he was selling you this great camcorder for a rock-bottom price.
Correct.
Well, so why don't you think that you owe her half, which is the $100 that she put in? Otherwise, it seems very inequitable to me, sir, that you got the camera and she's got nothing.
Okay, I guess I look at it like if we were to have we have other possessions together. Say she bought me a skateboard, Am I supposed to give her half the skateboard money back because she bought it for a gift?
This is not a gift, sir. I mean, don't you
Everything
understand the
we bought
difference?
together was ours.
This is not a gift. There's a difference between a gift and something you went into together. She put up the $200. You gave her $100 back. That means you bought this as a joint item. Assuming that you were married, it would be considered community property.
Correct.
Court would order it to be sold. You'd get 100. You'd get 100, or one of you would get the camera, and the other one would have to pay the other for half of its value. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's a difference between that and buying you a skateboard, sir, because you can only fit one behind on a skateboard, the last I looked. Right?
Sure.
All right, so $100, Miss Laporte, you have. Now what about this $250?
Well, when we were going out, I used to front Sean money for various bills, like his son's daycare, etc. or something.
Why did
he
you do
needed to
that?
pay. Because I loved him, and he always was responsible and always paid me back on time, and never had a problem with it until the end. And a couple weeks before we broke up, I lent him $250. Some of it was for daycare, and then others was to get him by until his checks came in from his clients. So I gave him the money, and then that following week we broke up, and he didn't pay me back on a couple of occasions. We met, we talked, he said that he would meet me to pay me back, and he never did. One time he told me he'd meet me at a restaurant. I waited for him for an hour. He never showed up. I called him the next day. He said he didn't feel he had to chase me around town to pay me back the money.
Does any of that sound familiar to you?
No, I mean, absolutely not.
Your Honor, I have...
Just up!
It just
No,
really...
don't look at your feet. Look at my eyes.
Okay.
Does any of what she said about making appointments to meet her, to pay her
One time,
back...
yes.
Shh. Let me finish. Meeting her to pay her back the money. None of that sounds familiar to you?
Meet her to talk about the issue that she thinks that I owe her the money when I paid her back. That's what we were supposed to meet for. I felt it was irrelevant to even meet with her, so I didn't. And she didn't have a pager or a phone, so I couldn't call her, so I didn't show up.
I had a cellular phone on me that day.
Just a second.
Okay.
Let me understand something. Are you telling me, sir, that you behaved in an unchivalrous manner by making an appointment to meet her to discuss something and then decided that you didn't feel as if you had anything to discuss, and then you didn't show up?
Said, yes.
And then you didn't show up? Is
I
that right?
get
Is that
hold
what
of
you're
her.
telling me?
Yes, I did.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. $350. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out. We'll see. Out the back door to your right.
I'm happy he got what he deserves. He gets away with everything, and I didn't want him to get away with it.
I don't get away with... What are you talking about? Explain yourself.
Mommy bills you out of
Oh,
this. Grandma
give me a
bills you
break.
out of this.
Give me a
Okay.
break.
You know it's true. I know it's true.
And now the next case.
Parties on Ambrose versus Moronian. Step forward, please.
27-year-old actress Melinda Joyce Ambrose says hairdresser Anita Moronian made her hair turn green. Anita says somebody else botched the job.
Miss Ambrose, you are dissatisfied with the defendant's services that she performed for you as a hairdresser.
Yes.
And not only, according to your complaint, do you want to be compensated by having her return the money that was paid, but you also want her to pay for, let's see, $600 for what it cost you to repair your hair, another $1,000 or so for you to take new headshots because you're an actress.
Yes.
This better be good. Go.
Okay. I have a picture of what my hair... I've been growing out my hair for 2 years. I went to expensive salons to have them take care of my hair. Anita is a relatively expensive... She works at a relatively expensive salon. I had been seeing her for at least 7 months. I have a picture of what my hair looked like before she went and permed it. It's bleached hair. And I had put some temporary color in my hair.
Just a second. Let's stop. You sort of glossed over that. So you put some color in your hair.
Yes.
And then when did you call her after you had put the color in your hair?
The morning after, and I told them what I told her boss, and then I told her
You
exactly
spoke to her.
what I put in my hair.
Yes.
Yes.
And she said what?
That it was still safe to perm it and color correct it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to tell me how horrible your wife looked?
Her hair after coming back from the salon was very bad. It was very frizzy, it was very damaged, it was orange and green.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melinda Joyce Ambrose says hairdresser Anita Moranian cut her hair too short, permed it, and turned it green. Anita says she warned her not to color her hair.
Just a sec. Color corrected, which means you put something in your hair.
That was too dark. It was darker than I liked it.
So then you made an appointment, and when did you go in?
It was that morning.
And what happened when you got there that morning?
I checked with her again and again and again, and I said, I used Clairol. It's a version #1. This is in my hair now. She obviously saw the color difference because she had been my sole hairdresser for 7 months. I said, are you sure it's safe to perm on this hair?
Miss Ambrose, why did you take it upon yourself to do a home hair color on yourself if you had been going to very expensive salons for months and months?
My hair turned out darker than I wanted it to, and so I thought it wouldn't be a problem for her to put basic rinse through my hair to...
In a second.
Okay. A basic rinse through to soften the color and to perm it. It's a non-ammonia, non-peroxide solution, and I told her exactly what it was, and I asked if it could be done. I was very clear about that. I mean, I asked her over and over so much that I felt paranoid, and she assured me that it was fine. She assured me that it was fine to do a color and a perm that day.
Okay, so what did you do?
I went in, got the perm done. It turned out stringy and strawy and awful. Most of the color washed out. Some of it basically baked in would be the right words. It stuck and wouldn't come out, and that turned kind of orange. There were parts that turned green. After Anita saw that, Anita looked at my hair. She told me not to see anyone for 2 days because it was really damaged. She couldn't color my hair that day because it was too damaged, even though she had agreed to at the beginning of that service. And basically let me go. She said not to touch it for 2 days and then to use a semi-permanent color, which is exactly what I did.
Just a second. She told you to do another self-help?
No, she said she wanted to put the semi-permanent color in.
Okay, so she told you to leave with the perm that you said was not good and not do anything for 2 days, and then you should come back to the salon for whatever corrective measures with regard to color she would do.
Yes.
And then what did you do?
And I left out a detail, is that she cut off most of the green and the orange, making my hair basically a couple inches shorter than it is right now.
Well, you wouldn't want green and orange in your hair. So then she told you to come back in 2 days. What did you do?
In 2 days, I went to someone else who was not her, because I would never go back to somebody who did that to my hair again.
Miss Ambrose, you're talking as if this lady did what she did to you on purpose. You don't believe that she did this to you on purpose.
That's what she told me,
hey,
Your Honor.
you don't believe she did this to you on purpose.
Not on purpose, out of seeking money and out of negligence, yes.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
First of all, she's calling, I mean, I'm not a better actress than she is. She's acting, but I don't know how to act. So she called the salon around 2 o'clock in the morning, left a message. I mean, this is not a normal hours.
2 o'clock in the morning? This is before you
she
worked
brought
on her?
me in my day
Listen
off
to me.
do
Listen
her
to me.
hair.
Stop talking. Listen to me.
Right.
Well, I want to know about when you started to do work on her.
Not
with this perm.
She called that morning. It's my day off. She begged them to call me and have me to go and do her hair. In my day off, I went to do her hair. Tried to do a favor to her, and she's telling me negligently
Just
I
a
burned her
second.
hair.
What happened when you got to the salon?
She came in the salon. I came in my day off. I did her hair, what I had to do.
What
Her
did you
hair
do?
I permed her hair.
What kind of a discussion did you have before you permed her hair?
I mentioned to her, I said, every time you have a chemical process, anything happens, your ends might little damage. And it's very possible with the perms. It's always possible.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, I did.
She just said ends might have a little damage. That's like not 3 inches.
Your Honor, can I continue?
Yes, continue.
So I did her perm, but when she came, she had already green hair on her hair.
Just a
Every
second.
time you have a perm, your hair shrinks because it's curly.
Of course, that's, you know, you
So
don't have to be a
I
physicist to
trimmed the
figure that out.
ends. I didn't chop her, I didn't shorten it 3 inches. It's already, when you perm the hair, it's by himself, it shrinks.
So when you cut off the ends?
I cut off the ends.
And you told her to come
and
back
I told her, I said, I cannot color your hair because she wanted me to color it. I said, come back in 2 days because the perm needs to oxidize the neutralizer has to oxidize on the hair too, between 24 to 36 hours. So I told her when she come back, I can put semi-permanent color. Since that day, I never seen her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I knew from the first day I met you, you are a weirdo. There's something wrong about you.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Actress Melinda Joyce Ambrose says that she could not go on auditions after hairdresser Anita Moranyan ruined her hair. Anita says she's not the one who ruined it.
In order for me to say to you, I'm comfortable with any of your allegations, you had been using this lady for 7 months. You put your own process on your hair, which you know if you're a smart lady, and you rely on your looks to make a living that you shouldn't have done. Clearly, because you didn't like the result of what you did, you called her. She came into work on her day off to do your hair to perm it, right?
Apparently, yes.
Apparently, yes. So I assume that when you called, you were hysterical, that your hair was too dark, and that somebody could please come in and do your hair.
I doubt I was hysterical.
My problem is, you'd been using this lady for color.
Yes.
You started a process that you hadn't used before. You were going to get a perm. A perm was going to change your appearance because it was going to make your hair curly instead of glorious and straight.
Yes.
All right, so that you were going to do anyway, which would have required, if I read your complaint correctly, additional headshots, because then if you had curly hair, it's different from straight hair. It's also shorter hair.
That's why I only asked for 2, because in the year that it's going to take me to grow my hair out back to there, I'm assuming 1 headshot session would have had to have happened anyways. But I lost all the headshots that I had. I can't use them now. I can't ever use them again. And I'm going to have more than that done
So
in
then
this
you
next year.
you learn 2 things. A, you should let a professional colorist do your hair if you rely on something. B, if you decide to have 3 processes on your hair, you risk your hair turning orange and green.
Your Honor, can I ask you to please understand
Sure.
one thing?
Sure.
And also, I'd like you to hear from my husband, if that would be possible.
What does he want to tell me?
How horrible it looked right after she did it, because he saw it.
Oh, sure, I'll hear you. I'll hear you. Step up, sir. Your name?
Nick Ambrose.
You want to tell me how horrible your wife looked?
Her hair, after coming back from the salon, was very bad. It was very frizzy. It was very damaged. It was orange and green. And I know how careful she is about her hair, and how she was very, very, very insistent that she told what was on the box of the actual label of the box of the dye she put on the day before, so that the person who was doing it would know exactly what was there and would be able to judge whether they could do a safe process or not.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer.
Let me ask you this question, sir. If somebody has a computer and they take their computer and they try, and doesn't seem to be working right, and they have a guarantee that goes with the computer, and they decide, well, they think that they could fix this computer, so they take a toothbrush and a toilet plunger. Say, I could fix this computer. I'm going to stick in the toilet plunger. I'm going to roto-root this computer, right? And then the computer doesn't work, and they bring it to you, and they say, hey, I got a guarantee here. The computer doesn't work. And you say, listen, there's an intervening thing here. There's an intervening thing here. You took this toothbrush, you took this toilet plunger, you try to fix the computer yourself. I don't understand why a woman who has been going to what she says to me is an expensive salon for 7 months, one night gets a bee in her bonnet that she wants to change her hair color, goes down to a drugstore and buys a box of something for $2.98 and puts it in her hair, or for $4.95 and puts it in her hair. And then she's so hysterical because of the way she looks that she can't even wait for this lady to come in on her regular day. She's got to come in the very next day and not say to her, listen, could you just fix the color for me, throw a rinse in, I just want to get it back, but comes in and says, I want my hair permed.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You had here a dissatisfied customer.
Right.
Your dissatisfied customer paid you $125 for a process that she
Right.
was dissatisfied with. Let me tell you what good business is. Good business is saying to a dissatisfied customer, listen, I'm sorry that you were dissatisfied. You've been my customer for 7 months. You've paid me for 7 months. You're dissatisfied. I don't think I did anything wrong, but you're dissatisfied with the service. I don't want you to be dissatisfied. I'm going to give you back your $125. That's what she originally called for, correct? You said you called because you wanted your money back.
Yeah.
And?
She wanted more.
Hey! The people are so stupid, they just don't understand. You said you wanted your money back.
Yes.
And if they had given you your money back, this matter would have been closed.
If it had happened right away, yes.
Good. Now it's right away.
It's not right away.
It's right away to me, madam. I'm giving you your money back, $125. It's more than I think that you deserve. I think that you contributed in part to having your hair damaged. You can't do one process, another process, a perm, and then a color to your hair and expect
Your
your
Honor,
hair
didn't
and
she have
expect
a life-
your hair to be as pristine as it is in this picture.
Your Honor, didn't she have a responsibility to tell me that before she did the process?
I believe that she told you that you were going to have damage
No,
to your hair. The fact that you didn't want to hear it is your problem. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $125, period. End of case.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue.
Case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Senna versus McLean. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Let me see if I understand this complaint. Miss Senna, you have a young daughter.
Yes, I do.
This is your daughter, Miss McLean.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter had been involved in modeling as a younger child, and probably even today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Miss Senna, don't look at your papers. Look at me. According to your complaint, you two ladies became acquainted. You were approached by the defendant, asked if you would like to sponsor her daughter in an upcoming beauty pageant. Is that right?
Yes.
And what was the sponsorship cost?
Well, I guess the sponsorship was, I asked her, she said $185.
So that's what it cost to
Yes, ma'am.
sponsor. And what else did she say to you?
That she would put my daughter in a beauty pageant that she was running, that she was having, and she would be able to get my daughter into another beauty pageant if she was to get into this first one, which was at the Fallbrook Community Center.
So according to you, you had an agreement with her that if you sponsored her daughter at the cost of $185, she would make sure that your daughter would be in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And that's why you sponsored her.
Yes.
And you say...
And I say, yes, she did sponsor my daughter. My daughter had gone to her, she was babysitting for her at the time, and she sponsored my daughter to be in a beauty pageant. My daughter did go into the beauty pageant. She won the beauty pageant. At about 2 months later, I did tell her I was going to have a preliminary pageant for another state pageant, and that I would in turn let her daughter go into the pageant at no cost. But at the time my daughter had won this one, we didn't even know we were going to have a beauty pageant. At the time I was supposed to have the beauty pageant, I didn't have it. My mother's mother, my grandmother, had died, and I couldn't have the pageant, and I had to go to Kentucky for the funeral, so I didn't.
So there was never another pageant which this lovely little girl in purple could participate?
Deborah Senna had called me quite a few times and said that she, once she found out I was not going to have the Fallbrook pageant, said that I promised her. I said, I told you you could be, your daughter could be at a pageant at no cost, and I told her that I would just put her daughter in the state pageant with no.
So there
preliminary
was
pageant.
some sort of an understanding that her daughter was going to be in a beauty pageant with your assistance.
Not at the time of her sponsorship, but that was not a gift. That was a gift to Casey. It was 2 months later. I told her I would, since she did sponsor Casey, I would put her daughter in a pageant. But that was not
Miss
a
Senna,
stipulation. That's not true, Your Honor.
I want to know at the time that you, by the way, I assume you have proof of this $185.
Yes,
you have a
ma'am.
cancel check?
Yes.
Well, then could you tell me why you're suing her for $300 and some odd dollars?
Well, $185 was for the check, and then $100 for my daughter. And
$100 for your daughter for what?
Just because my daughter talked about this pageant. Her daughter, Casey, came to my house and babysat and had my daughter all pumped up for this pageant. She had my daughter walking with books on her head, getting her ready and telling her what to do for this pageant. She talked about it to her friends. She was heartbroken about this.
So it's for sort of punitive damages that you're asking money for?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're countersuing her for $2,500 for some nonsense because you say she harassed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how did she harass you?
When she would call my house repeatedly, sometimes 3-4 times a day. She would swear. The swearing was unbelievable. She came into my place of employment, went to my boss, stated facts that weren't true.
Like what? Were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She said that I was a bitch and I was a whore, and that I had no reasonable reason to be a mother, and that I owed her money, and that Ron, my boss, should get the money from me. And she would call my house.
Does that sound familiar?
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. That is a big lie. That is a big lie.
You?
Your Honor. Well, the things on the phone, she repeatedly called me. She told me I was a whore just like my mother. Called me an F&B. And I've been taught to give adults respect, but I expect respect from them. And it's something me and my mother have not been getting from her.
Did you make those statements to this
No,
young lady?
ma'am, I did not. I called, and Casey told me on the telephone, I cannot talk to you about this.
Are you in a business?
I have a business, Tony's Masonry. It's my husband's business.
When you sponsored someone,
yes,
their name appears on a program or something. Do you have that program?
I never got a program, ma'am.
Do you have it?
I don't have a program. It happened a year and a half ago. We recently moved 5 months ago. But I do have a copy of a normal sponsorship agreement saying that there was no refunds are available.
Just a second. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you one thing. I asked you for apples. You gave me mashed potatoes.
I'm sorry.
Okay? What I asked you is, I assume, put it down. I assume that if your daughter is in the pageant industry, that you keep a scrapbook. And I assume that you keep all the memorabilia from all of her pageants. That only sounds like common sense to me. Put your hand down. I'm really smart. So I assume you have all of the books from your daughter's pageant.
5 months ago we moved and I told Casey to get rid of all of that stuff she was collecting.
How many pageants have you been in?
Around 15.
That's not a lot to keep. Especially one that you won. You understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Especially a pageant that you won, you don't get rid of. You keep this, but you keep the crown, but you don't keep the program.
Right.
That doesn't sound logical to me. Why didn't you pay for this $185 yourself?
I didn't even start this process. Casey went to Deborah and asked for a sponsorship.
Did you initially have the conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
When?
One time I was babysitting for her daughter.
And what did you say to her?
I said, Debbie, I'm entering a beauty pageant, and if I would like to be in it, I have to pay for it myself or figure out a sponsorship to go into the pageant. So I asked Debbie, since I was babysitting her daughter, if she would sponsor me. And not at that time, I said that she could be in a beauty pageant.
And what did she say?
She said she'd love to. And it was out of her business, too.
She said she would love to.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I really wish Debbie would shut up.
You know what? That's respect.
Well, you don't give me respect, Debbie.
You don't deserve it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean over a beauty pageant which her daughter Christina was to enter. Debbie McLean says she was paying for her daughter Casey's sponsorship, not for Deborah's daughter Christina to be in another pageant.
So when did she have a conversation with your mother?
I believe she had a conversation with my mother on the phone, seeing if it was fine, see if I asked Debbie, and then we went to her house to pick up the check.
Together?
Yes.
Does that sound right to you?
Your Honor?
Miss Sena, look at me.
Does not.
She did not speak to you first
No, she did
about
not.
it?
No, she did not. I spoke to her mother on the telephone. We were talking about sponsoring. One was contingent to the other.
No, that's not what I asked you, Miss Sena.
And, I'm sorry.
This young lady says that she asked you first to be her sponsor.
No, she did not. Her mother and I spoke about it on the telephone while I talked to her mother about having her daughter babysit for me. That's how that happened.
Okay, we don't have to take very long with this. Giving your story the best possible scenario. Okay, your story. You agreed to sponsor her, and she agreed that in the future, sometime in the future, your daughter was going to be in a pageant that she was going to run.
No, ma'am.
No, yes, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't the same pageant, it was a second pageant.
It was the Fallbrook pageant.
It was another pageant that never took place. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So the other pageant never took place, and therefore she could not fulfill that part of even assuming your agreement unless you can establish to my satisfaction that it was owing to her fault and her fault alone, her negligence, that that second pageant didn't take place. You're at $185.
If
you sponsored her daughter. Now, I'm not 100% satisfied that both of these young ladies are telling me the truth. And that includes you. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Because as sweet and as adorable as you look, I think you're a pretty good actress. That's because I have daughters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I know daughters can be pretty good actresses. But Miss Sanya, I know your daughter is disappointed. I know she's unhappy, but you didn't have a writing with this lady that one was contingent on the other.
I have a witness that heard her say this in my house when I presented the check to her.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, ma'am. She's
I'd
right
like
here.
to hear the witness.
My friend's name is Maria.
Maria, you step up here. Now, Maria what?
She came over to
No, Maria what? Your
Maria
last name.
Cazares. Cazares? Your Honor, she came to Deborah's house, and we had just gotten there, and
who's we?
Me and Deborah. And she came over, and her daughter came in the house, and she says her daughter and Christina went outside to look at the pool, and she said Deborah gave her the check, and Debbie said, "Okay, and this is for you're sponsoring my daughter, and in return, I will put Christina in the Fallbrook pageant."
Are you telling me that she said, in return, are those the words, listen to me, are those specifically the words that you remember as you stand here under oath? You remember her saying to you, and in return, I will put your daughter?
Yes,
Maria.
I do, Your Honor.
What makes you remember that so vividly, madam?
Because it was a big thing with Christina. She was telling everybody. She was,
I didn't ask you why it was important to the child. I asked you, what makes it so clear in your mind that you can stand here today under oath and you tell me that you specifically remember her using the words, in return for?
Because I remember her saying that.
And how long ago was this?
In May.
Mm-hmm. Of this year?
Yep. Last year. Not this year, 96.
I'm not sure whether I believe that. In any event, I think that this is a sad situation. Did you write a business check for this $185?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Your Honor?
Yeah.
May I say something, please?
Sure.
When Deborah came into my home and Maria heard her, Deborah the kids were in the backyard, and she came in the house, and she took my check so fast, and she did say she's going to, in return, put my daughter into her beauty pageant.
Yep, she didn't have a beauty pageant.
And she took out.
Just
Yes,
a
she
second.
didn't.
She didn't have one. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No, but that's why I did the sponsoring.
No, but just a second. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And that's why I did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Her daughter is one of the biggest brats I've ever known in my life.
She's a brat. Look at you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean. Deborah charges that Ms. McLean failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McLean says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And I really feel really taken, and I'm sorry that it had to be this way. because I just wouldn't be here if I didn't feel that I was, you know, I wouldn't be
Taken.
Right.
You think that Miss Sania feels as if she was taken? Miss McLean?
I believe she feels like she was taken.
Okay. Now, she feels as if she was taken because she was led to believe by you, led to believe that her little girl was going to have an opportunity to be in a beauty pageant. Is correct?
That's
Is that
what
correct?
she believes, yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? Okay. And you did not fulfill that part of the agreement because you say your grandmother died.
It wasn't a part of the agreement at the time of the sponsorship.
Let us assume she believed that based upon everything, that was why she was giving you $185.
That's what she believes, yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, you say you led some credence to that because you, in your answer, say, well, the other pageant didn't take place because I had some personal problems.
I said she could be in it at no cost 2 months later. Yes, ma'am.
At no cost because you were arranging it.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you didn't arrange it.
I was unable to fulfill my obligation having the pageant, and it did upset quite a few young ladies, and it upset me that I couldn't have it.
Good.
But I did have a
But
death
none
in
of
the
those
family.
other ladies that it upset had given you $185.
Had given my daughter, yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can understand why she's upset.
Yes, ma'am, I
And you can understand why her little girl is upset.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right? All right. Miss Sania, I'm not exactly sure that I'm getting the truth, the 100% truth from you or from you. I know what you thought. And I know you thought that you got taken, because I don't think otherwise you would have sponsored, you would have given her a check for $185. How much did you used to pay her for babysitting?
I paid her $350, and I always paid Casey really good because my daughter always liked her. And I really do feel taken.
Why didn't you save the money from babysitting for sponsor money?
Because I used all the extra, like all my babysitting money as what a regular teenager would do.
Well, why didn't you save it for your sponsorship?
Because when I was babysitting her, I really didn't think I was going to be in this beauty pageant. It was at the last minute thing.
Oh, why was it at the last minute?
Because I didn't get the entry form until late.
So that you didn't have any money?
Right, for myself.
So, and you wanted to do it very badly?
Yes, I did.
Now, now the common sense part is coming together, so that you went to her immediately.
Right.
This lady immediately.
Right.
All right. Very good. I understand.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, Miss Sania, I do believe that you are entitled to $185 from these people. I don't believe you're entitled to any more. I don't believe you're entitled to compensation for your daughter's pain and suffering or anything else. And I am dismissing your counterclaim for $2,500. So, I'm going to tell you one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Telling the truth is very important.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Some people have a special gift. They may be very dumb at certain things, but some people can tell when somebody is lying to them. It's one thing when older people lie. I don't know, sometimes I think that it's reasonable. It certainly sets a bad example. It certainly sets a bad example.
She is not lying, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, I'm sure.
I'm not so sure that the agreement that you two ladies made with your daughter, either present or outside the room, gave this lady the distinct impression that if she was going to shell over $185, it was with the understanding and assurance that it's a future date and a future pageant. Her little girl was going to have the same opportunity to go around and prance around on stage and be in a pageant. And that's why you showed her how to walk, showed her how to move, showed her how to do all those things. That's what the inducement was. That was the inducement.
But it was not a contingency. At the time when she sponsored my daughter, I did not even know I was going to have a beauty pageant.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, the amount of $185. That's all.
Excuse, you may step out.
That's not. Let's
get out of here.
Judge Judy.
This is number 99 on the calendar in the matter of Shelley versus Norian. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
You all went to high school together.
Right.
That's correct.
And were friends.
Right.
We're.
Relax. Graduated from high school and you thought it would be a neat idea to have an apartment to live on your own.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you found an apartment.
Yeah.
Signed a lease together?
Correct.
1, 2, 3. You're the other roommate.
Yes.
And then you told your parents.
Right.
And they said, forget it.
That's correct.
So you said,
forget you.
not really.
Yeah.
According to these papers, you said, well, I'll just hang out in the apartment. I won't be able to live there, but I'll sort of use it like a home away from home.
Exactly.
Continue to pay rent? For how long did you pay rent?
For 5 months.
And how long was the lease?
6 months.
So now, Mr. Shelley, you want the other month's rent,
Yep.
which you say you owe.
Correct.
And how much was that?
$235.
She acknowledges she owes you that. But you, sir, want $3,000.
Yep. But I have reasons, though.
What?
I have reasons.
Mr. Shelley, that's why I'm here, sir.
All right.
So that you can try to convince me why she owes you $3,000.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Let's go for it, sir.
I brought a letter from my my boss, my ad manager, saying.
Don't bring me a letter from your boss. You want me to hear your boss? You bring your boss. You tell me why she owes you $3,000.
Well, she has an $835 phone bill that I have a copy of.
Good, that I'll see.
No problem.
Did you show it to her?
Yeah, she's seen it several times. Actually, she
Actually,
even.
you know what? I have paid so many phone bills. There's only one phone bill that I still owe you for, and I admitted it in my statement, which was $375. For the last month, I was not in the apartment, so whichever ones that were there is not my fault. So don't try to blame it on me, Peter.
Okay.
The way it works, Judge, is you get paid phone bills for the month before. She wasn't in the last month, but she was in the previous months. So
what was the month that you last spent in the apartment?
I believe it was April, and that was for the $375.
And she bounced a check previously for $387 that's carried over. That's showed on there as well. And I think Chris will testify to everything that she made every single one of those phone calls.
Oh, I admit I
outside
made
of California.
the phone calls. I made the phone calls to Florida. I have relatives in Miami and elsewhere in the United States, and I admit to it, and I've paid them previously, and the ones that I do admit for them for the $375. But I do not admit for the other
No,
ones.
it's $835. I think Chris
According
will
to
testify
you, the
that.
ones that I've
Just
made.
a second. What was your last date in the apartment?
You know, honestly, Judge, I do not remember the exact same date, but I know the month was April.
Beginning, middle, end?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay. I
Well, it
have
was the end of
calls
April.
here to Cleveland. Who is that?
I don't know anybody in Cleveland. I admit to Miami, I admit to New York and New Jersey, but I don't know anybody in Cleveland.
Well, I have North Dade, Florida.
That's correct. I know
April
Florida.
9th. And then after that, I have no calls to Florida, but sorry, Miss Nurian. I just turned over the page. May 1st, 48 minutes.
Damn, sorry.
Not April.
Oh, that's good.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
May 1st,
Okay,
48 minutes.
you know, you might be correct. I'm not going to argue that.
Judge, I think my witness.
April 30th. You also called the same number in Miami, so you were there in April and May, beginning of May.
The lease, Your Honor, ended in June, and I remember that I was not there for the last part of the month. As far as exact the same date, honestly, I do not remember what it was. What had happened was my parents found out, and boom, like that, I was just out there, out the door.
Okay. Let us say that her phone bill is $800.
Okay.
And she owes you $235 for her rent, which
Okay.
she acknowledges. That's $1,035. Okay, Mr. Shelley. Let's go how we get to $3,000,
Okay.
sir.
I work in a commission-based job, I have to be using the phone. I carry a pager with me. I'm always on call. If I'm at home, I'm always on call. I'm working no matter what, all the time. If I don't have a phone, which I didn't for 2 months, very much handicaps my job. If I can't call clients back, I can't service them. I lose clients, I lose money, I lose a lot of stuff. It's just everything, I mean, everything totaled up me off. I think she should pay for it. I take cold showers for 2 months. I mean, it sounds lame,
Why did you have
but
to take cold showers for
because
2
she
months?
didn't pay her gas bill. And everything totaled together, just, I think she should pay for what she did.
Your Honor, and in the previous matters, you know, I've paid for everything on time as everything was supposed to be paid of.
Why didn't you pay your last month's rent?
Okay, let me explain to you, Your Honor. My parents had found out, and my bank account, everything was with my parents' name. They had everything a hold of it. They closed everything for me, and I wasn't working, so everything was gone from me, from getting about $4,000 a month from my parents to $0 a month. I was looking for a job. I was struggling, trying to find stuff. I know people are going to say, you know, you're spoiled. Yeah, you got $4,000. Oh, poor thing. She's not going to get anything now. Yeah, but you know what? I'm trying to do it on myself. Give me some time. I'll do it. And I've talked to him previously, and I told him, let me get myself back on my feet, and I'll pay you back. He's borrowed money from me before. You didn't see me hauling your ass. Peter, pay me.
Did I pay you back?
You did, but you didn't see me hauling your ass.
Did it take me 2 months to pay you back?
You were like 2 weeks late, but I didn't say anything to you, Peter. I didn't say anything to you, Peter.
The thing that made me the angriest, Judge, is that she said she would pay me, and she said she'd pay me several times. I wrote checks because she was going to pay me the next day. I mean, she's all, I'll pay you tomorrow, $235, no problem. And I'm all, yeah, okay, great. I'll write a check for the rent. I'd wrote 2 checks, bounced 2 checks. It ruined my credit.
Your Honor, I stepped to the apartment one time when I owed the money $235, and I left it in the apartment in an envelope, and I wrote on it, Peter. I call him, and he tells me, I tidn't find it. Okay, and I was still trying to be a nice guy, and I said, okay, maybe, you know what, it got lost because it was an envelope. It got thrown away. You know, it's a house full of men. You know, you never know. It can be thrown away. I was still trying to be the nice guy and pay him back. Oh, go ahead and laugh, Peter.
Listen.
Judge, she left it in not an envelope. She left it in a piece of notebook paper folded up on a cluttered
How would you know
college
if you never
counter.
saw it?
You told me, you stupid... God.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They don't have phones in San Diego.
Yes,
you can't
I
pick
did.
up the phone and go, yo, I'll pay you later, Peter.
Yo, shut the hell up, Peter.
Shut the hell up.
You shut up.
And later today,
Did you have acupuncture on your cat?
She also took the cat to the pet psychic.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Peter Shelley is suing his former friend and roommate, Joyce Norian, for not paying her rent and phone bill. Joyce agrees she owes some money, but claims it's nowhere near $3,000.
Listen to me, sir. You're 19?
Yeah.
You're at the beginning of your career.
Uh-huh.
We're not talking about heavy-duty problems, sir, that require this kind of anger. You understand? Sometimes you get involved in living situations and it doesn't work out. That doesn't mean you're compensated for everything from lost beepers to cold showers.
Not lost beepers, lost clients, which is...
Well, that's hard, very hard for a court to calculate, sir, how much business you actually lost as a result of your phone being turned off. And there were probably other ways that you could have dealt with it. You have a job, sir?
I was working at a warehouse previously when I was involved.
Why didn't you get a telephone?
Because I don't use a telephone very often.
Come on, give me a break. That's a dumb answer.
Chris never moved in. He never lived there. He paid rent just like her.
Just a second. So what you're telling me, you had this apartment all by yourself?
Yeah.
That's some deal. You had an apartment all by yourself. It must have been a nice apartment. 2 people who weren't really living there, but coming by occasionally. I mean, that's not a bad deal,
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree
It's
with
not
you.
a bad
That's a good deal. But that doesn't mean she shouldn't end up paying for her
she's going
last
to pay.
rent.
She's going to pay you what she owes you, sir. She's not going to pay you for your inconvenience.
And I've admitted to that in my statement, Your Honor. I was being honest about it. Yes, I do owe him this certain amount of money.
I think that you owe him a little bit more for the phone bill that you acknowledge, and I am awarding him a total of $1,035 for both your rent and the phone bill. That's all.
Thank you.
Excuse me, step out. I've got to go to your right.
They discounted for me. I didn't have time to pay
couldn't you
for
call
it.
me and say,
You know,
hey,
I
I'm
was
gonna
in
pay
San
you?
Diego all the time. I didn't have any connections to come down.
They don't have phones in San Diego.
Yes,
You can't
I
pick up
did.
a phone and go,
Listen to my last
yo,
statement,
I'll
did
pay
you?
you later, Peter.
Yo, shut the hell up, Peter.
Shut the hell up.
You shut up.
And now the next case.
Parties on Mizell versus Hall. Step forward, please.
38-year-old teacher, Vicki Mizell, is suing her neighbors, Tracy and Randy Hall, because their 5-year-old daughter, Brooklyn, broke her cat's leg by stepping on it.
I assume that that is the cat in question.
This is the cat in question.
And I assume that that is the child in question.
That's the child.
Miss Mizell, you claim that this little girl stepped on your cat, caused the cat some injuries. Your vet bills were $2,000. You want them to pay, right?
Yes.
What was your cat doing in their house? That's where this happened, is that right?
The cat was staying with them while I was out of town, but the cat had been at their house many times over a couple of month period because the cat made friends with their children. And they were from Idaho and they were staying in LA for I guess for 6 months. And so they missed their animals back home. So the cat would go over sometimes for play dates, sometimes would spend the night, had stayed with them at another time when I was out of town, and so.
Let me understand this. You asked them to do you a favor and let the cat stay at their house while you went out of town?
Yes.
And they have kids?
Yes.
3 of them.
How old are your children?
At the time, they're 3, 5, and 10.
Tell me your name.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Spell it for me.
Brooklynn.
All right.
All right, Brooklyn. That's where I was born.
Oh, honey.
Me too.
Would you like to come up and talk to me? Oh, come on up here.
Watch your step. There you go.
Hi.
Hi.
That's a really pretty name.
Thanks.
Do you know what happened to that cat that made it limp?
When I just got up out of bed, I walked down the hallway and then I didn't realize the cat was there, and then I stepped on it. Then it was limping.
Okay, was that an accident? Do you like the cat? I figured you liked the cat. You play with the cat?
Yeah.
Do you have any other animals home?
Yeah, we raised some cows and a baby kitten.
Okay, are you very careful with the cat and the kitten? Okay. Why don't you go back and stand there next to your mom and dad?
I'd like to also point out that the cat, obviously it's fairly old, but it also had some hearing problems.
Whatever. It was an accident in the house. Miss Mizell, now according to what I've read here, you don't have this cat very long, is that right?
The cat was a stray, and she was found a year ago, and some other people found her. And
So you've had the cat for about a year?
A year now.
Okay, and how old is the cat? Do you have any idea?
We think about 15 or 16 years old.
Okay.
And there was, at the time when we found out that her foot was broken, Mr. Hall's, and we all went to the vet together. The vet explained what would have to happen, and he said to me, he said, we'll pay for half the surgery, let me talk to my wife.
Your claim against these people is $2,000.
Now.
Because that's what you've spent in vet bills.
Yes, plus, yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say, Ms. Mizell, that the vet bills to take care of the cat were $10,000. Would you have paid $10,000?
I don't know. I don't have $10,000, and I don't know.
Would you have paid $5,000?
Yes.
But you don't know if you would have paid 10?
I haven't been working. I was injured 10's a lot.
How about 20?
20,000? Mm-hmm. I would have found her a home. I would not have had her put to sleep.
But you wouldn't have paid the 20?
I mean, you're asking stuff
I'm asking you
that's
these
arbitrary.
questions. I'm asking these questions for a reason.
If I had $100,000, I would have paid 20.
Yes, but you don't.
Right.
So that you yourself put a limit on how much you would spend to take care of the cat.
Well, it's actually not over yet.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's a bad break. It's an old cat. You know, the older you get, the more brittle your bones get. That's what they tell me, at least.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Vicki Mizell thinks her neighbors, Tracy and Randy Hall, should pay her vet bills because their 5-year-old daughter broke her cat's leg. The Halls feel the cat should be put to sleep.
You are not suggesting that this child purposely hurt your cat. You are not suggesting that, are you?
I'm not, and in the records it says it was accidental.
Fine, so this child accidentally stepped on your cat.
I think it's a bad break, so, you know.
It's a bad break, it's an old cat. You know, the older you get, the more brittle your bones get. That's what they tell me, at least. And what you can withstand when you're 16, you can't withstand when you're 56. So I'm certain that this little girl, when she was walking down the hallway and stepped on the cat was just lying there. She didn't mean to hurt her. Now, you were prepared to spend any amount of money to take care of your cat. These people originally offered, according to these papers, I think $400. Is that right?
Right. When I was at the...
I think that was very... I think that really, that was very nice of them.
They never did. They said they did, and then they didn't. What?
In your written letter, it says here that we offered you the money.
I said you did offer, and then you reneged on it.
Because it went up $500 every day.
Let me hear. Talk to me. Don't talk to her.
Part of her bill was like $350 for acupuncture.
And then,
I mean,
do you have acupuncture on your cat?
Yeah, but this is being exaggerated.
No,
I have it right here.
Did you have acupuncture on your cat?
Yes, there was acupuncture on the cat, and it was not $350.
I have it.
Shh.
It's
Let me see it.
she also took the cat to the pet psychic. That's how she found out that the cat belonged to another family.
Well, that's not part of your bill.
No.
Pet psychic.
Yeah. No, I don't think it is.
Acupuncture. I guess it's
Your Honor,
$336.
they offered to pay, and when the doctor needed the money, I didn't have the money, so I went to them to get what they'd offered, and Mr. Hall said, let me transfer the funds in the morning. Call me in the morning, I'll transfer the funds. The next day, it was a different ball game.
That's not true.
It is true.
Just a second. So what you're saying is you offered to give her $400. Right. And you're prepared to do that?
Right.
They never
Just a second.
Okay.
Just answer my question. You're prepared to do that?
Yes.
I think that that's very generous of you, sir. And this, madam, by the way, does say that you took the cat for acupuncture. It was $42 per treatment for $336. That's what this says.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You're the cat's owner. But you said I couldn't spend $10,000 because I didn't have it. So there would come a point where you would say, I can't spend anymore. These people have offered initially.
But here's what you're missing. Excuse me.
It doesn't make any difference
But they offered, then they reneged. They never came through. They weren't nice. They weren't helpful. They weren't supportive. They didn't say they were sorry. None of this happened.
Well, Miss Mizell, what do you want? You want them to pay all of the medical bills.
Well, now, I mean, what I've been through with this has been horrendous.
All right, Miss Mizell, if you want somebody to watch your cat and if you want them to be responsible for what happens to the cat, I suggest you leave your cat in the future in the hands of a professional. Then the professional is responsible for whatever happens to your cat while your cat is in their care. That is somebody that boards animals. If you elect to leave your cat with a family that has young children and the cat is accidentally injured, then you cannot expect the parents of a 5-year-old child who there is no evidence maliciously caused any injury to your cat to be responsible. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Your Honor, this is case number 300 on the calendar in the matter of Levitt versus Felix. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
A relationship with the defendant. That relationship produced a child, a son.
Yes.
And that during that 5-year relationship, you made loans to him well in excess of $5,000.
Yes.
Relationship terminated.
Yes.
You want your money.
Yes.
And you say?
That's not how it happened.
Tell me about it.
Well, we were in a relationship for about, I'd say, a year, almost a year. And he had a computer portrait business, and he wanted to enhance his computer equipment. So he came to me and asked me for a loan. And so I said, well, okay, it's understood that it's a loan. And he said, yeah, any money that I ask of you, I want, it's going to be a loan.
I'm going to pay it back. And I said, okay, it's going to be a loan. I'm going to pay it back. And I said, okay. So I made a record of it. I made a record of everything, you know, because it's a business loan. And so
take it out. Show me. First, show him.
No, I've seen it.
You've seen it? Okay.
This is all the checks and our relationship. He paid me back some money, you know. And so he got a job like this year in July, and he's telling me that he gets paid like $4,000 a month. But yeah, he's not going to pay me back my money because, you know, I was stupid, I was gullible, I believed everything that he said to me. He used me. He took advantage of my kindness, and we were together for 5 years.
And you say?
We met maybe back in 91 or 92, you know. She came in to get insurance for me, and she's been calling me ever since. And then a week later, I decided to go out with her. And after a couple of months, it just called me ever since. And then a week later, I decided to go out with her. And after a couple of months, it just didn't work out. Okay, I said, look, it's not going to work out. You know, you just fresh off a relationship, you're insecure, you low self-esteem and everything, you know. Just, I don't want to go out with you, okay? And she started crying, okay? She's like, she grabbed my legs. And she's like, please don't leave me. I don't want to be alone. I don't want this, I don't want that, okay? I said, I'll stay with you, but nothing's going to come out of it, okay? It was just strictly sexual. You know, we'll go out. She even called me her booty call. She called me when she wants to have sex.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Hey, that's how it was, you know? I mean, I'd go out, do my own thing, you know, go out with whoever I wanted, okay, if I don't have anything better to do.
How chivalrous of you.
Well, I mean, that's what I pointed out. It's even on paper. You know, it's like, take it or leave it, okay? I'm not going to have a relationship with you. Okay?
All of that is, listen, that's a boy-girl thing. If she wants to accept a relationship under those conditions, that's fine.
That's what she accepted.
We're talking here about.
I'm getting to that. I am getting to that. But in the meantime...
Loans, your insurance, all these checks with your signature on the back of endorsements. So, car payment.
I never asked her to pay anything for me, okay?
But just a second. Did you take it?
Yeah, she volunteered. Why not? You know? That's like she thought she had to do that, okay? In order to keep me from leaving her. It's either pay stuff for me or send me dirty pictures, half-naked pictures, just
Put them
everything.
away. I don't want to see them.
You don't want to see? I've got them here. Anybody else?
No, just a second. Anybody else want to see it? Is that what you just said? Did you just say anybody else want to see it?
Well, the whole thing was a joke to me, you know? It's like things were not working out from day one, and she's like...
So why didn't you just say goodbye?
I have.
You're a big guy. You want to say goodbye to somebody, you could just say goodbye.
I went to Miami. I went to Orlando. She would track me down. I have letters she sent me to everywhere I go.
Well, so you understood Mr. Felix, right? That according to you, Miss Levitt was infatuated with you.
Yes.
And you felt that she was, according to you, insecure. Is that right? Fair statement? Vulnerable because of that.
Maybe
Right?
you could see that. Sure.
And so you decided to go over and, according to you, for want of a better phrase that unfortunately doesn't come to my mind right now, service, right? Service her occasionally. And pick doesn't come to my mind right now. Service, right? Service her occasionally. And pick up a check.
Nah, it wasn't always like that.
Let's go back a second, Mr. Felix. You did service her.
Yes.
And you did pick up a check.
That's not the service for a check.
No,
It wasn't
no.
like that.
I'm just saying, you did service her. And you did pick up a check or two. Or 10.
Sure.
Or 20. Now, Mr. Felix, that's not very nice, sir. That doesn't say to me that you are a very nice person. Do you want me to explain it to you?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She got pregnant on purpose. That didn't work, okay? I'm not going to be with her no matter what she does.
And later today,
You made the car payments for her?
She borrowed money from her family that I helped repay.
My family will be very surprised to hear that there were payments made to them. Very surprised to hear that there were payments made to them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jacqueline Levitt says the father of her child, John Carlos Felix, borrowed money to buy computer equipment, but never repaid her. He says the money was a gift.
Can I make this suggestion to you, sir? There will come a time when Miss Levitt will become so frustrated with the situation that if you don't take her to court, and I doubt that you will, because I doubt that you have this passion to see your child on a regular basis, but she will feel as if, as she should, that the child has a right to be supported by two parents. And that's what the law says. So she's going to take you to court. And under the law in many jurisdictions, she can take you to court seeking support from the date of the child's birth. Do you understand that? So I'm going to suggest, Mr. Felix, that from now on, when you make child support payments, you make them by check or money order made payable to her, clearly endorsed child support. So should there ever be a question about how much money you have paid, it is memorialized in a writing. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Sherritt versus Liebenson. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Jill Sherritt says her ex-boyfriend, Brad Liebenson, missed several payments.
You were dating. He wanted a watercraft.
Yes.
Something that you ride on the water.
Exactly.
Very California.
Yes, it is.
But he had no credit. So you got the watercraft on you.
Yes, it is.
But he had no credit. So you got the watercraft. She got the bill. And then you broke up, leaving you with the bill.
Yes, I do.
You have the bill?
I did.
Did you pay for it?
Up to a certain point, that's correct.
How much?
$1,000.
And how much was the watercraft?
Approximately $4,000.
So that leaves, well, explain to me why you don't owe her the watercraft or the $3,000.
Well, in the statement that I did give, we had come upon an agreement to where after I paid for her to stay with me during the period of our relationship and the money that I spent, that the balance...
Idea.
We had come upon an agreement to where after I paid for her to stay with me during the period of our relationship and the money that I spent, that the balance...
Idea.
During one of our last meetings, before she actually moved out.
You had this conversation with her that you remember vividly as you stand here before me today.
Yes.
How long did you live together?
4 years.
He says that you came up with this agreement with regard to the watercraft, that you lived with him. I assume he's going to tell me that he paid all the bills. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that therefore you had an understanding that he would pay for the first $1,000 of the watercraft. Does any of that sound familiar to you?
There was never any conversation like that at all. The only conversation in regards to the jet ski was that I was going to pay for it and he would make... In regards to the jet ski was that I was going to pay for it and he would make the monthly payments on it until it was paid off or until he could come up with the lump sum to pay it off. There was never any trade for this, trade for that. That was never discussed. That wasn't part of the agreement at all.
Mr. Liebenson, when you were together, tell me what kind of expenses you took care of, sir.
Rent, utilities, car payment, things like that.
For yourself and for the plaintiff?
That's correct.
She had her own car?
Yep.
And you made the car payments for her?
She borrowed money from her family that I helped repay.
Explain that to me.
She didn't have money for a car when she moved out here. She borrowed money from her family. I repaid most of that money,
How much money?
approximately $3,000.
Can you show me how you repaid that money?
I made payments to them
How?
by check and by giving money to Jill.
Well, let me see some checks.
I don't have them here.
Get copies of that, sir.
They weren't able to get them to me.
Does any of that sound familiar?
No, my family will be very surprised to hear that there were payments made to them for repayment of a car, which I paid every dime of.
Assuming, Mr. Liebenson, that I do not believe you. Let's start with that premise, sir. Your answer, sir, says for the first year and a half that you were together, you paid for rent, bills, car repairs, and food. There isn't anything here about repaying a loan to her parents.
Maybe
Nothing.
I omitted that when writing my statement.
Well, these loan to her parents.
Maybe
Nothing.
I omitted that when writing my statement.
Well, this statement is 2 pages long, sir. That's a really big thing to omit, considering that it's the first thing that you mentioned to me today, and just happens to be in the same proximate amount of the water ski. And you go into great detail in your answer. Jill and I lived together for 4.5 years. During the last 6 to 8 months, I decided to purchase a personal watercraft.
That's correct.
Not the two of you. I decided. Although you say, due to my credit standing at that particular time, I was denied the loan. Jill offered to use her credit to obtain the loan. And then you say, after the separation, I discussed the fact that I had supported her during the first year or so, and we should offset that. So you go into great detail. Nothing about this loan that you paid, that you couldn't get from microfilm from your bank.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, you got the watercraft?
That's right.
You got the bill. How much did you pay?
Altogether, a little over $5,000 with finance charges because it was a revolving line of credit, so there was finance charges that were accrued.
You're only suing for $3,200.
Yeah, basic blue book cost of the watercraft. It's basically the principle of the thing at this point.
Mm-hmm. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,200.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy.
Case number 327 on the calendar in the matter of Matar versus Soria. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Have a seat.
You pronounce your name Matar?
Matar, yes.
Miss Matar, this is your little girl?
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she was playing at a friend's house with your children.
Yes.
And that, unfortunately, she was bitten by your dog.
Yes.
This dog. And you seek reimbursement for your medical bills.
Yes, please.
There is no dispute that your dog bit her. It scratched her, is that right?
Right, there's no dispute as to that, no.
Well, then why don't you tell me why you don't believe you're responsible for the child's medical bills?
First of all, Your Honor, my dog, he's really good. He always has a problem with sensitive ears. And when the children started coming over, I make sure, and I told him, the dog is fine, just don't pull his ears. Because he'll react. He reacts to adults, he reacts to us. It's a problem that he's had since he was a puppy. He's now 6 years old.
Okay. So that I found interesting in your answer. You said that the dog has had a problem with his ears since he was a puppy. Tell me what kind of problem.
It's really hard for me to tell you. I taken him to the vet, and he says, well, he just has sensitive ears. There's nothing wrong with him inside that he can see that's physical. It's just a sensitivity that he has.
Well, what has the dog done?
He hasn't done anything to anybody before. What he's done, and my daughter can probably show you, is if you grab his ears and try to extend them, he tries to move, kind of bite off your hand off his ears.
So he tries to bite off your hand to let...
because he is not comfortable with that. And that was something that I explained to the children, not only when they first started visiting, but every single time that they went to play with the dog.
I say you can play with him, you can pet him anywhere you want, just don't pull his ears. He's fine if you just, you know, touch him down, but if you extend him, he has a problem with that.
Hi.
Hi.
Veronica, can you tell me about the day that you went and played in the house where that dog was?
First, I went to my friend Christy's house.
Is that their house? How old is Christy?
8. 8.
And how old are you?
8.
Okay, sit still, okay? So you went to play at the house, and what happened?
I pet the dog and he bit me
Where did you pet him?
on the head.
Did you pull his ears? You sure? You just went to pet him. Had you played with the dog before? Dog never bit you before. Where were you bitten, Veronica?
Over here and that.
Right over here where that mark is? Did it hurt? Did you have to go to the doctor?
The hospital.
What happened to you in the hospital?
The doctor put me some stitches.
Do you know how many stitches you had? And how long ago did this happen? A while ago? You know, my eyes aren't so good anymore. So I need these glasses to really get a good look at, you know, your face, because your face is beautiful. Right? Just had that little mark on it. So let me see. Come close to me. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. People aren't going to look at that. They're going to look at your gorgeous eyes. Right? I'm telling you. Okay. Why don't you go sit down? You feel better about going to sit down? Yes? Okay. Byrd? Sure. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
It's obvious that it was in her house, it's her dog, and if she knows that he has a problem, keep him away from children. Don't give the responsibility for 8-year-old to know what she has to do.
And I understand what you're saying. The point, too, is that the responsibility of having a dog is almost, you know, the words that your husband told me was, well, what kind of people are you to have a dog? Well, I'm sorry.
Miss Soria, listen to me. You know, things get hot when you're in the middle of a dispute. I think that sometimes animals are unpredictable. And even though an animal has not done anything in the past, you never can tell when something is going to trigger some sort of aberrant behavior, like biting a child. Your dog, while you tell me that he has not bitten anybody before, clearly had a problem with his ears. Now, according to the child was not pulling his ears straight out, which is what you say causes him to act out that way. According to this little girl, that didn't happen. But clearly, someone is responsible minimally for the medical bills that these people incurred. Can I see your medical bills? Because as between this lady and you, it was within your home that this happened. So somebody is going to be financially damaged. And I'm not talking about the little mark that's on your daughter's face. That's going to go away, hopefully.
Well,
and
I have a report from a doctor that will scar forever.
Well,
she has 2 scars on her face, one on her cheek, one under her nose.
I just want to know what the bill was so far.
We paid $2,500 cash for the plastic surgeon to do her face.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know he has a problem, lock him outside.
But you know, if you had
don't ruin
a
little girl's
we didn't know he had a problem.
Thank you for the nice words. That shows what kind of people you are.
And later today.
I mean, talk about losers.
Yeah.
You know, when you hang around with losers, you know what you become?
A loser.
Right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Micheline Matar's 8-year-old daughter Veronica was bitten on the face by Maria Soria's dog Pebbles and is suing for the medical bills. Maria claims she told Veronica not to touch Pebbles on her ears, but she didn't listen.
Mrs. Matar, I'm going to come to you. You seem like an intelligent lady.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that you knew that these people had a dog in their house. And an intelligent person also knows that when little children are around a dog, something can happen. Now, I'm not saying that you are responsible, but you clearly knew that they had a dog, right?
Things can happen anywhere you go.
Thank you.
Right.
That's my point too. When a dog bites somebody, regardless of where, when, and how, it usually becomes the owners of the dog's responsibility. It's almost a relativity here as to, okay, so by default, you know.
No, Miss Soria, you're missing the point, madam. The point is that you were aware of the fact that your dog had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever tell that to Mrs. Matar?
No.
Well, you see, that's a responsibility that you have. Because then Mrs. Matar would have been on notice. And she would have known that what you knew about your dog, that your dog had a certain sensitivity. And then I would say, well, she assumed the risk if she let her children go to your house to play. You can't say that I'm telling an 8-year-old and therefore I've completely absolved myself of responsibility. If you told the mother, and after you told the mother, she said, dog looks perfectly fine to me, I'm going to let my children go over there, then she is, in at least in part, negligent. You would agree with that, right?
Yes, I do.
But you didn't tell her, and that was a mistake. Telling the children is not telling her. Now, they have medical bills now of $2,500. Somebody's got to pay for that. You had the knowledge about your dog. She did not. So you have to pay these medical bills, and the judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
What about the scars? I'm sorry, Your Honor. What about the other charges that I have to do another surgery for her to take out all the scars on her face?
Let me tell you something. Right now, to date, your medical bills are $2,500.
Okay.
Right? If you have additional medical bills, there on notice, they may be responsible. It may be that as your daughter gets older, this little mark that's right over here is going to fade.
I spoke to a specialist, which she
You
told
may
me that it
have
will
spoken
not.
to a specialist, but I'm telling you, as your daughter gets older, she's still a little child. Her face is going to grow, her skin is going to grow, and what looks like a 1/4 of an inch scar now may be nothing more than a dot later on, and you as a responsible parent might not want to put your child through an additional surgical procedure. So right now I'm giving you your medical bills to date, which are $2,500. Now you have to know, Ms. Matar, also, if you allow your children to go next door to a neighbor to play and the neighbor has a dog, a little dog like this, that looks perfectly harmless. There is always that risk. I don't think that there was anything malevolent about what the defendant did. I mean, according to what she tells me, the dog has never bitten anybody else. But you have a responsibility to tell the parents, not the children, of people that come into your house, that this dog has now bitten one child. Because the next time, if this happens to somebody else, you are responsible for punitive damages. Do you understand?
I understand.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, I'll be back and go to you right.
You know he has a problem. Lock him outside.
But you know, if you had
don't ruin a little girl's
we
life.
didn't know he had a problem.
Thank you for the nice words. That shows what kind of people you are.
Well,
You did not even bother to call to ask how my daughter was.
And now the next case.
Parties on Flubacher versus Phi. Step forward, please.
20-year-old student Renata Flubacher says she bailed 19-year-old Courtney Phi's boyfriend out of jail twice and has not been paid back.
The defendant was a friend of yours, according to your complaint. She had had some trouble with her mate.
Correct.
Some domestic violence, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You had him arrested?
Yes, I did.
And then you thought better of it.
Yes.
So you called your friend and asked her to bail him out of jail.
Yes.
And what did you say?
I was unsure of it at first. I didn't know the procedures of what the law meant and what exactly. At first, it was just that she needed to borrow the money, and then it ended up she needed a co-signer, which was a lot more because I didn't know the gentleman. And of course, what I knew of him was all negative because of what
You
had
mean the
happened.
gentleman that she lives with?
Well, her boyfriend.
Her
yes.
boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you spend the first time to bail him out of jail?
I think it was $325 after all the court fines.
And you borrowed that money from her?
Yes.
You promised to pay her back?
Yes, I did.
And you haven't?
No, I haven't had a chance.
How long ago was this?
It was in May, I think.
Now then he got himself arrested again.
Right. He got on probation and then was arrested for the same thing pretty much from what my understanding is. Not on her, but on somebody else.
He sounds like a real charmer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was my best friend, and we don't talk anymore.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Renata Flubacher says she bailed Courtney Five's boyfriend out of jail twice and is suing Courtney to get the money back. Courtney feels it's her boyfriend's debt.
What was he arrested for the second time?
Assault.
On whom?
Some guy, I don't know. Some guy he fought with.
And what happened?
He had called me from jail and was crying and telling me that he respected me and that one of the main problems with Courtney and I was that he wouldn't let me see Courtney. He said that my friendship with her, that I had bad influences
This is Courtney?
on her. Yes. That I had bad influences on her. I've known her since 6th grade, and he pretty much told Courtney who she could and could not see, and he pretty much was just apologizing and saying that, you know, if I got him out again that things would be different and that she could see me. Because when I got him out the first time, I pretty much didn't speak to Courtney again. You know, I didn't hear from her. She was at his house. I would call there. He would get upset with her, yell at her, tell her, you need to tell that girl to quit calling here.
You mean this is after
I bailed him out of jail.
After you bailed him out?
So he pretty much just begged me, and then he started saying some things about if his probation officer found out that he had violated his probation, he would go to jail for 6 years. And he was like, I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to go to jail for something I don't deserve, and something like that. So I called Courtney, and I was like, you know, Courtney, is this true? And from what she understood, it was all true. And I was like, what do you want me to do? Do you have another way to get him out? You know, do you need the money? She was like, yeah, I need the money, and I can't live without him, and I need him to be out of jail. And
did you say that to her?
I did say that.
You couldn't live without him?
Well, I did love him very much.
Sounds like a manipulative sucker.
Yeah. Well, at first he wasn't like that, but...
So how much did it cost you the second time?
It was $325 again. And this time with a lot more writing his, because I had to co-sign also again because neither one of them know anybody who has any type of liability, and it was a lot more money this time if he didn't end up going back to court.
Did he go back to court?
No, he didn't. I ended up having to call bounty hunters on him to pick him up. He was supposed to go to court, and Courtney and him got in a really big fight within a week or something. Something blew up, and he was staying at his other girlfriend's house, and we had to call the cops, and we they had to do all this stuff, and the bounty hunters came and picked him up and had to take him to court, and then he got put back in jail.
So how much did the whole exercise cost you?
It was a little over $900.
All right, Courtney, let me hear your defense to this.
Well, I believe that I owe her for bailing him out the first time, but I didn't ask her to bail him out the second time. And he's the one that asked her, so I think that she should be suing him for the rest.
Well, she did, in fact, call you after she got this jailhouse call.
Yes, and I told her if she wanted to do it, that I would like her to do it, but I wasn't asking her to do it.
You said, I'm not asking you to do it, or did you say, I love him and I can't live without him?
Yeah, I said that, but I'm not asking you to bail him out.
She did say that, too. She's like, well, I'm not asking you, I'm just... She said something like, I'm not asking you because I know you've already done this once, and I know I already owe you money, but I love him so much, and I can't live without him, you know? And I was just like, okay, so do you want me to leave him in jail, or do you want me to get him out of jail? You know, this is up to you. And I told her straight out, I was like, you owe me this money. I can't stand. I don't like what he does to you. I don't like the way he treats you. I don't like the way he treats me as somebody who's helping him. And
did you say that to her when you spoke to her on the phone?
Yes, I did. And we went together to the bonds place, and I was like, Courtney, this is a lot of money. I was like, I've worked so hard for all this money. And
what kind of work do you do?
I'm a waitress and a full-time student.
And I've been saving all my life. I was like, this is my savings, and you know, you will pay me back this money.
When did Prince Charming finally leave the picture?
About a month ago.
Under what circumstances?
I just couldn't take it anymore.
And he's going back to
and
jail.
he's actually wanted again, and I'm trying to help his aunt out because she's going to have to put up $14,000 to, if he doesn't turn himself in. So I'm helping her.
You mean he got somebody else to put up bail for
Oh yeah,
him?
his aunt
And he
bailed him
didn't
out.
show up.
And he
And-
hasn't showed up, and
Yep.
I'm the only one that he calls, so I'm trying to set him up.
Let me
so-
tell you what you should try to do. Change your number.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about losers.
Yeah.
You know, when you hang around with losers, you know what you become?
A loser.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe the plaintiff when she says she couldn't stand your boyfriend. Sounds to me as if she had good cause. He tried to come between the two of you. He's clearly abusive. He's unreliable. And yet, because of your friendship, she bailed him out of jail. Big mistake. Don't do it again. I'm sure you won't. You know, you're a hardworking gal, and if you have been diligent about saving your money, save it. You know, bailing him out is like taking the money and throwing it down the sewer. But there is no question that I believe that you assured her on both occasions that you would be responsible for this money because she was not relying on the boyfriend to pay her back. She was relying on you to pay her back. Your lawsuit seeks $800. You have to pay her. It's the right thing to do. Okay? Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The calendar in the matter of Mohammed versus Nava. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Oh, Byrd, it always worries me when I see evidence in a plastic bag.
Me too, Judge.
Mr. Mohammed, you are suing the defendant. Would you stand up straight, please, as a court? For $750 because you say she stole your car and vandalized it. Is that right?
That's right.
You and the defendant went to a club together, correct? Dance club. You were with a male friend, and she had two other female friends with her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. It was a Mexican nightclub, so that's when
I don't see how that's particularly relevant, madam. Whether it was a Mexican nightclub or what kind of a
What
nightclub
would he
it
be
was.
doing at a Mexican nightclub? You know?
We're talking about his car, not about what kind of club it was.
Okay.
Just be quiet and pay attention. So you're inside the club and you're dancing, and I assume doing what you do at a club, and it came time for you to leave. According to your complaint, you got into your car. You were in the passenger seat, front passenger seat. Is that right?
Yes.
Your male friend and your two female friends were in the back seat.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you acknowledge that you took his car.
I didn't take it. The police report doesn't say I took it, my friend took it.
That's what you say. You say your friend took the car and you left it at your brother's house. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, according to your complaint, sir, you got out of the car.
Yes.
Tell me why.
When I was leaving the club, there was a girl, excuse me, there was a girl that I spoke to earlier at the club. She flagged me down to talk to me. I parked my car, left the car running, went around the car to talk to the girl.
How far away from the car were you at that point?
2 feet. I was right next to my car. I was talking to her. My friend was in the car, so I felt safe since he was on the back seat. He got out of the car to join the conversation.
So he left the girls in the car too, and the two of you guys went and talked to this other girl.
We were standing right next to the car talking to the girls, correct?
Was there one girl or more than one girl that you were talking to?
One girl.
So the two of you guys were talking to one girl.
I was talking, he was listening.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then as sudden, I saw my car moving, like backing up. I looked at my car and then I saw Lily on the driver's seat. I tried to run after her to stop her, like telling her to stop. And the security guards in the club, they also ran after her, but she took off at high speed. I ran to a payphone in the parking lot. And I called 911, I reported the car stolen. The police responded within minutes. They tried to screen the whole area around like the club. They couldn't find the car.
Now, you ultimately, according to your complaints, had to take a taxi cab home for $100.
Actually, 115, and that was about 3 hours later because I had to walk for about 3 or 4 miles to get to the nearest payphone at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I called the cab and I went
And then
home.
you got the car back. Ultimately, they found the car.
Correct. Actually, she took the keys to the police department and she told them where the car is.
Okay. How much later?
I would say about at least 16, 17 hours later, I was able to locate my car.
Now, describe the car when you got it back, sir.
The car was very dirty. There was vomiting on the door, on the inside, on the interior and the exterior, on the carpet, on the leather. There was so much trash, like fast food trash from Jack in the Box. The property inside the car was badly vandalized.
What property?
I had a radar detector.
You had what?
A radar detector.
Radar detector.
That I paid $380 for it. This is the mounting bracket, and this is the wire connection, and that's all what's left from that device. My Ray-Ban sunglasses were flattened. Somebody has been sitting on them, so they're not usable. And as you can see, that the whole frame is twisted.
What's in the bag?
In the bag, actually, this is my belongings were left like this. If you look at them, some of them are business documents. Some of them are checkbooks that have been taken out of their cover. My credit cards were like.
Well, were these in a suitcase or an attaché case or just in the glove compartment?
I had them. I had them found the car. Everything was trash, and the bags were empty, and the credit cards were all over. Until this point, I don't know if there is any of the credit cards missing or the IDs that I have because it's just a big mess for me to go through it in such a short period of time.
All right.
If you want me to itemize the parts that were damaged or missing.
In a minute.
Okay.
Now let's hear your story. Look.
Okay.
Now let's hear your story. Look at me.
Okay.
Because I read your answer.
Okay. He picked us up and we went out. There was no intention, like, you know, we didn't go out as a date. We went as friends.
He called you or you called him?
He paged me, and I called him back.
So you called him?
Yeah. And he asked me, what are you going to do tonight? I said, I'm going to go out. And then he says, well, why? Because we were going to go out before, but I was like, I didn't want to go out with him. And
So
then we went, he came and he picked us up.
You and 2 friends?
Me and my friend here. My other friend, she moved already. They picked us up. They weren't even dressed to go to a club at all. I mean, he was wearing like jeans and some shoes with no socks and like almost a t-shirt. It was like a t-shirt. And we went out. He didn't do anything. All he did was sit down the whole night. We were on our own.
Miss Nava.
Yes.
He may not have been dressed to go out to a club. I think you are not in the position to even refer to that, since in my judgment, you are not dressed appropriately for court.
Well,
Do you understand?
I'm coming from work.
I don't care whether you're coming from work. Did
I'm
you ever
coming
hear
from work.
Listen to me, Miss Nava.
You know.
Did you ever hear the word sweater?
I don't have a sweater.
Right.
It's hot
Come on.
outside.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The way he was dressed is awful. Awful. No class at all. To drive a nice car like he does, he has no class to dress.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Mohammed and Lily Nava met at a club. Nikki says Lily stole his car and trashed it. Lily says her friend was being attacked and needed the car to get away.
And then what happened?
Him and his friends were out somewhere, and me and my friends were just our way. So it was time to leave, and we were leaving. Okay, I had went inside to go to the restroom. My friend was in the car, and my other friend was in the car. When I come back, my friend here that's sitting down, she was kind of drunk, and she was crying, saying that he was going up her skirt. Because she was out the sunroof. They were parked, and she was standing out the sunroof. That he was going up her skirt. And I was like, why are you doing that? And then he started yelling at her. I was like, why are you yelling at her? And he was like, hold on. And that's when we reversed, and he parked. So after that, my friend Sandra, she didn't drink at all. She was mad because of what he was doing to her. And she's here to explain it to you.
This one, the one who was drunk? The one who you just told me was drunk. She's going to explain it to me? This I got to hear. Right here.
Water.
Well, I was just like on the sunroof. I was outside saying bye to my friends.
You were on the sunroof?
Yes.
You mean you were sticking your head out of the sunroof?
Yeah, he was going up my dress. He lifted my dress up.
So you didn't know who it was?
No, I just saw a guy, because I saw his face and I just saw like a beard on his face.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's it, and that's all it, and I got down and I sat down and I was crying.
To the point where you don't remember what's happening to you, madam.
No, I remember what happened to me. I know what he did.
She wasn't passed out.
Did you put your hands on her?
Your Honor, they were all wearing pants. None was wearing dress. So
She was wearing a dress.
I was wearing a dress.
And to answer your question, no, I did not.
Well, you were in the sun. Listen to me carefully. See, because I'm reading your answer here. Common sense suggests to me that the story that you're telling me is a lot of baloney. Let me tell you why. What I'm hearing is that he got out of the car to talk to another girl, which ticked you off.
No.
Just pay careful attention, because she's sitting in the back seat of the car. She's sitting in the back seat of the car. He was driving the car. How do you get him?
The car was parked. We were parked in front of the club.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, the car was parked. It does make a difference.
So, hey, listen carefully, ladies. So what you're telling me is, let me see her seat. He came back in the passenger seat where you were, because you were in the front passenger seat. That's what you just told me.
She was in the middle. The sunroof,
I was in the back.
The sunroof is right in the middle of the car. And she got up, and then he got back in the car.
See, I was gone. I just got up. I was waiting by
in the middle. It's in the middle. The sunroof is in the middle of the car.
Let me ask you this question, Miss Nava. You had two friends with you. One's drunk, right? And you just came back from the bathroom. And you're at a club where there are all kinds of security guards, right? Why didn't you take your drunk friend and your other friend and security guards, right? Why didn't you take your drunk friend and your other friend and get out of the car and go into the club and say, we're having some problems with the people who brought us?
Because he was yelling at us, telling us to get in the car. He was like, get in the car, get in the car. I'm like, calm down, what's your problem? He's like, get in the car, we're gonna leave already.
So what you're telling me is, listen to me, so what you're telling me is, instead of, you were frightened of him. So instead
I'm not frightened of him.
So what did you get into the car?
I wasn't frightened, she was frightened. I just wanted to go home, that's all.
So why didn't you go? Who do you live with?
My dad and my brother.
So why didn't you go into the club and call your dad and call your brother? Let me tell you what you said here in your answer. Quiet! Let me tell you why. I read your answer and it all doesn't sound very kosher to me. You know what kosher means? They don't serve kosher food in a Mexican club. All right. You say, Sandra will appear with me in court.
She left already.
Just a second. So she's not here. Sandra, the one who you blamed for actually driving
I
the car
didn't
away.
blame. She was driving.
No, that's what you say. I just drove
The
along
police
with Sandra.
Hey,
we didn't blame her.
Are you?
We didn't blame her.
Try not to talk over me. Listen, madam, you don't know what was happening. You were drunk and probably vomited all over the car.
No.
All right?
That's not even true.
So, listen to me. Try to listen, ladies. You say that you did this because you were afraid for your own safety and your friend's safety, and that's why you took the car.
I didn't do anything. My friend drove the car. I didn't drive nothing. She got in the car and we left. She said,
we were just in the car and she just took off.
The police called at my parents' house. This is what you wrote. And I told them exactly where they could find the car. And they picked up the keys from me with no problem or questions. And they recovered the car.
Because they asked for me at my house. And they were over my house. We came back in the morning to my dad's house, and the police called me.
You came back in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, where were you all night?
At my brother's house.
Why?
Why? Because that was the nearest place we could get there. We just got there and we stood there. I didn't want to go home with the stolen car to my dad, so I went to my brother's.
Yes. I love it when a game plan comes together.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She goes and she could drink all she wants. That's how I feel.
I wasn't driving, so it's all right.
Oh, please. They tell me Costa Rica is a very good place to live in retirement.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nikki Mohammed is suing acquaintance Lily Nava for taking his Lexus and vandalizing it. Lily says she only borrowed the car and did no damage.
Let me see your damages, sir. You have...
I have $115 for taxi.
Okay.
I had $46.90.
Just a second, Bert. Turn on the buttons, because, you know, Mother doesn't know how to do buttons.
That's all good.
Mother knows how to do truth, but not buttons. Go.
$115 for a taxi cab.
You're a big tipper. Yeah, go ahead.
No, actually, it's about 35 miles.
It was
distance.
$100 here that you wrote here in the complaint, sir. When you put it on the back here, you said $115. So I assumed that it was $100. You gave him a $15 tip. Don't lie to me. You want me to show you? You want me to show you your complaint?
Actually, it was miswritten. But anyway, it's $115 for taxi cab. It's $46.90 for rental car. It's $35 for the key emblem.
When did you rent a car?
The next day.
Why?
At 9:30, because I had no car. I had to go about my business.
Why don't you tell your girlfriend to take you?
Madam. Madam.
When I received the keys back.
Ay, ay, ay. This is our future. Go ahead. This is our future.
When I received,
Come on.
When I received
What
the keys,
else?
when I received the keys back, they were missing this emblem, $35 worth of emblem. Telling the car to clean the car, to clean
To clean it?
the
Oh, to
vomit.
clean it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
And
want to clean out the car.
$16 for that's worth $380. Ray-Ban glasses that are flattened for $125.
Get the Ray-Ban glasses.
$165.
165?
$165 for detailing.
For the what?
Detailing.
What's detailing?
Detailing the car, to clean the car, to clean
To clean it.
the
Oh, to
vomit.
clean it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
And
want to clean out the car.
$16 for jumper cables that were missing from the trunk.
Jumper.
I don't think that they took your jumper cable, sir. Hey, Bert, are
We
these
didn't
nice
take anything
Ray-Bans?
from his car. We left everything there.
Quiet. You trashed his car. There isn't a question in my mind that you and your friends trashed his car.
He could have put it all together by now. Look at that bag. It's been like 6 months now.
Mr. Mohammed, I want to tell you something. Bird, you like this?
Yeah.
It was still has it in the bag.
She may buy them.
125 for the Ray-Bans?
Yeah. 125 for the Ray-Bans. What else?
That's it. That's
how much
there
we
are
got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I got
7 items.
$682.90.
$682.90.
No. That is not correct.
That's what it's got.
380.
Bird never makes a mistake with the calculator,
Well,
sir.
$115.
I'm not giving you
Okay.
credit for the emblem, sir, on your keys. Go ahead.
46.
What else?
There are 7 items. If you add them up right,
These are the items, Bird. $165 for detailing, $125 for the Ray-Bans, $380 for the radar detector, $47 for the rental car, and $115 for a taxi cab.
$832?
Okay. Now, Mr. Mohammed, you have to exercise good judgment, sir.
Yeah, you're too
You are-
old for this.
How old are you?
I'm 18. He's 30, what, 5?
Madam, nobody dragged you in the car. Nobody told you that you had to go
He
with
didn't
him.
have to lie
Nobody
about
said.
his age.
Nobody said.
He lied about everything. He
Lied
lied
about
his
his
name,
age.
about his age, where he lived, everything. Everything he told me was a lie.
Good. So you stole his car. Stupid.
We didn't steal it, though.
Just a second. Let me explain something to you. This is dangerous business. Dangerous business. You acted like an idiot that night. You got one friend who's drunk. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know whether she had been drinking or not. You're at,
It's all right, though.
She doesn't drink. She's old enough to drink. The other girl's not old enough to drink. She's old enough she could drink all she wants. That's how I feel.
I wasn't driving, so it's all right.
Oh, please. Costa Rica. They tell me Costa Rica is a very good place to live in retirement.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Mohammed, be smart, right? Don't fool around with babies. These are babies. They're not fully cooked yet. The only thing that they are is stupid, because they shouldn't have been in your car. And they certainly, if they felt that they were threatened, which I doubt. See, because if I really felt that they were threatened by you or your friend, I would have some compassion for them. But it seems to me, if you feel threatened in a situation and you are in a place where they shouldn't have been in your car, and they certainly, if they felt that they were threatened inside to a phone booth where there were a lot of people, and you make a phone call to your father, your brother, whatever
He
else.
said it himself, the phone's not till 3 blocks away.
That's not true. They're in the parking lot.
Didn't you just say that?
No. Yeah.
And you're lying.
No.
Again.
It's right there in the police report.
Always lying. Always.
There is a phone in the club.
But he said he had to walk.
There is a phone.
He said he had to walk.
He said
he could have gone to the phone in the club too.
Madam, he said he chased your car.
Where? To the end of the parking lot?
God, get her out of here. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $832.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
Judge Judy
Case number 292 on the calendar in the matter of Burge versus Burge. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
Mr. Byrd, you claim that your soon-to-be ex-wife, who was the defendant in this case, destroyed or threw away some irreplaceable memorabilia of yours after you were out of the house. You place a dollar value on that memorabilia at $5,000. She says that you were an abusive drunk who hit her, left the house, disappeared for months. She had no idea where you were, and ultimately got fed up with storing this stuff and just got rid of it. Correct?
That is correct.
So, how long were you married to each other, actually living together?
On and off for close to 3 years, give or take. We were only married right at 4 months, though, when I left.
And I gather you were living with the defendant's father.
That is correct.
All right, sir, tell me about your departure from the house.
The evening that I left, I was quite intoxicated, if you'll bear with me. This is the first time I've seen Michelle since the evening that I've left, and I still haven't really gotten over her, but the night that I left, I did become intoxicated. I went back to her father's mobile home, whereas we had another argument, and I was intoxicated enough that I don't recall whether or not she hit me and knocked me down or she shoved me and knocked me down. At that time, I got up, I slapped her, and I left, and I never went back. That was my understanding with her. I had told her if I ever raised my hand to her that I would leave. And that was the only time, Your Honor, that I had ever raised my hand to her.
So you left?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long were you gone before you made a request for this property that you say you left behind?
It was about 2 months.
And how did you make that request for the property?
By telephone originally?
Talking directly to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what property did you leave behind, sir?
I left my clothing, camping equipment, fishing equipment, some tools, an awful lot of books, memorabilia, my son's photographs from when he was a child, and I requested if I paid UPS prepaid, would she box these items up and send them to me? And at that time, I never really got a response from her.
Well, did she tell you that she had already disposed of all the stuff?
Not at that particular time, no.
Where were you for those 2 months, sir?
I was working, living in a little town called Antioch. I was living with my sister, and I was working, pumping gas.
Why didn't you call the very next week and make arrangements to pick up your stuff?
The emotional situation is that I had been fairly mentally abused by her on a number of occasions. As a matter of fact, there were times that I spent as many days in my van living there. This is my secure area. After an argument, you have to excuse me.
Do you have a drinking problem, Mr. Burge?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Has it been a long-standing problem with alcohol?
Yes, ma'am. Although this was one of the reasons I believe that Michelle had asked me to move in with her father. He also has a drinking problem, and he needed a drinking buddy.
Were you drinking all during the 3-year relationship with Michelle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Michelle.
Yes.
Why don't you first tell me your version of what happened on the night that your husband left?
He was supposed to meet me that evening, and we were going, my son and him and I were going to go to MGM Adventure Park. He never came home. He never showed or called. And so when I returned from the park, because I went ahead and went, I found him at a casino in town, saw his van parked in the garage, and I went in and we looked for him, my son and I both. He wasn't there. So we went on home, and there he sat on the ground, very intoxicated, and laughing. And I said, thanks a lot for showing up for us. And I did push him on the shoulder, and he fell back. But I proceeded to walk down the hall and out, and he came after me, and he hit me with a fist, closed fist, like a man would hit a man. And it spun my head around. And I couldn't close my jaw for 7 days thereafter. At that point, we called the police. I was yelling, Dad, he's hitting me. Help me. He came out of the bedroom, and the police were called. At this point, Glenn tried to take my car and leave because his van was obviously still parked at the casino. And I pulled him out of the car. And I recovered my car. At that point, he walked down the street, got a neighbor to take him back to his van at the casino, and I never saw him again or heard from him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I even went into rehab for 3 days.
But didn't work.
Well, after being out of rehab for 3 or 4 days, Michelle would make me a cocktail.
And later today,
I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for you, Susie. And every time I do something for you, this is the way I get it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
52-year-old engineer Glenn Burge is suing his soon-to-be ex-wife Michelle, claiming she threw away precious photos and memorabilia of his son.
What had you done with all of his belongings?
Put him in an unlocked shed outside of our mobile home, which meant he had access at any time, day or night.
Ultimately, what did you do with them?
We left him there for which I have receipts from the Salvation Army until March 6th of '97.
And then they came and took all the stuff?
Yes.
What about his pictures and that sort of stuff?
They took it all. It was thrown in garbage bags and boxes and kind of...
And it had been 3 months that you hadn't heard from him, according to you?
Not at all. I contacted his aunts and uncles, which I had his address book, so I went through it and found some. Took a chance that he might be, and he was. He had been there. And so they kind of directed me to an address and a phone number.
So who
And I
called
caught
him?
up
Did
with
you
him.
call him?
Yes.
And what did you say when you called him?
I didn't reach him, I reached the relatives. Yes, Glenn was here. He stayed a few days and left.
So you never really reached him?
No, but he got the message, so he called back.
And when he called you, you still had the property?
Yes, we did.
So what was the conversation?
It was, hi, how are you doing? I can't live in Las Vegas anymore. The drinking's too available, and I would like you to come live here with me. And I don't really remember if the property really was mentioned at that time.
But then there came a time when you did call Salvation Army.
Yes.
Now, how much time passed between this first conversation that you had with him and the time that you actually disposed of the property?
Approximately 1 month later.
And why did you dispose of it at that time?
Because I received a letter from Glenn saying that he would be there on a Saturday and pick up his things. And I agreed, fine, we'll meet you here Saturday, and he never showed.
Do you have that letter?
No, that was no, I don't.
Do you remember writing a letter to her?
No, ma'am, there was never a letter written.
My father remembers this, Your Honor.
Oh, I believe you.
Okay.
I believe that maybe you don't remember, sir. Mrs. Burge, I gather from your husband that you knew that he had a drinking problem at the time that you married him, because you were together for 3 years before you married him.
Yes, I did.
Why would you
I
do
didn't
that?
know it was to that extent at that point.
But you knew he had a drinking problem.
Yes, and he had said he was going to work on that, and I had hoped he would.
You know, I get the sense from looking at both of you and from listening to you, sir, that you still have some very strong feelings for her.
Yes, I do. I did since the first day that I ever met the lady.
And I also have a sense that but for his drinking problem, you feel strongly about him.
We did. We had a very, very close relationship, and it was good when. It was good when it was.
It was good when it was good. Mr. Burge, what have you done, if anything, to deal with this problem that you have?
I haven't had a drink, Your Honor, in almost 3 months. During the course, if I may add, during the course of our relationship, towards the ending of it, I even went into rehab for 3 days.
But didn't work.
Well, after being out of rehab for 3 or 4 days, Michelle would make me a cocktail.
You have to understand, Miss Burge, the nature of the illness. You know, you can't treat it as if it's a thing that you can turn on and turn off. Sometimes you don't understand that. You believe that he hasn't had a drink? Looks pretty straight to me.
It's possible.
If he did enter a period of sobriety in his life, would you be interested in trying to save your marriage?
I'm not certain, because he did hit me, and it wasn't the first time. He had tried to hit me before, but he
Well, that was
wasn't
only when he was
successful.
drunk?
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you. I mean, nobody should live in an abusive kind of relationship.
No. Yeah.
But he did leave.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because I think he felt terrible that he did that.
And the police were on the way.
He probably was too drunk to even understand that.
Think so?
Mr. Burge, your lawsuit is a relatively simple one, sir. She doesn't have to store your property. She hadn't heard from you for many months. I do believe that you did make arrangements to go and pick up the property, and that you didn't show up, and she got fed up and ultimately said, just get the stuff and any recollection of this man out of my life, because I don't want to deal with him anymore.
If I may, I also have phone records stating, or actually physically showing, that I have been in contact with her since December, January, February. And
She says that. She says that you had
right.
been.
And in February, I'd also sent her a dozen long stem roses to her job. I was trying to keep this relationship going as long as I could possibly, because of the feelings.
Then you wouldn't want to be punitive, Mr. Burge.
Right.
And you did, in fact, hit her, and I believe that you hit her. Whether you realized it at the time or not, it was more than a slap. So you're going to have to live with the fact that because you have a drinking problem, you did certain things that were really the antithesis of good behavior for any human being to another.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I certainly get the sense from the two of you that neither one of you is prepared to totally throw in the towel. Maybe you can ditch Dad for an hour and go out and have a cup of coffee.
And later today,
You using me is over with. It's over with.
Okay, no problem.
That's it, Susie. That's it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Glenn Burge wants his estranged wife, Michelle, to pay for the loss of photos and memorabilia of his son. Michelle says she held on to his belongings for 6 months.
I don't think she's a bad person, sir.
She's not.
Okay. So then we really shouldn't be here today, other than perhaps for you to see her, because you said it's the first time that you've seen her since you left.
Yes, ma'am.
You certainly get the sense from the two of you that neither one of you is prepared to totally throw in the towel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pardon me, sir. Maybe you can ditch Dad for an hour and go out and have a cup of coffee or breakfast and just talk. Is that a possibility?
If she's willing.
You willing?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, you see about it, Miss Burge. if your husband, who I clearly believe you have some feelings for, still. No or yes?
No, I would say no.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Just too much has happened.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Mr. Byrd, you may have to try a little harder, sir. She's vacillating a little bit. So you may have to try. Maybe 3 months isn't enough. In any event, I'm not entertaining a claim for $5,000, sir. I am dismissing your lawsuit. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Bishop versus Baum. Step forward, please.
35-year-old Lori Bishop is suing her former girlfriend, Ingeborg Baum, for the cost of a parking ticket. Ingeborg says it's not her fault she got the ticket and refuses to pay for it.
This was your friend. She asked you to do her a favor and drive her downtown because your daughter was in jail?
Yeah.
And you didn't have a car?
No.
So you did her a favor, drove her downtown, parked your car where you shouldn't have.
Well, not really where I shouldn't have. We parked the car. We stayed there. We tried to find out where Renati was going to be. And
Renati is your daughter?
Yes. Find out how long it was going to be before she got released. Well, we'd been there probably about 3 hours, and we got back to the car, and Susie says, "What is that on your windshield?" And I says, "It can't be a ticket because I can park here. I parked here before. I know we can park here." So we went and got something to eat. We came back, and we parked across where in this little complex. And it said, "No parking, towaway zone." I'm like, I don't feel good about this. So all we had, when we started our trip out, I told her that I'd pay for the gas. I mean, she has to pay for the gas, but I'd give her the ride. So we got to the gas station, and her ATM card wouldn't work. So I put $20 in my car, and then I got $20 for us to eat because we weren't sure how long it was going to be for us, before we got back.
You parked your car where you shouldn't have parked your car, Miss Bishop.
Right. Well, I did. Well, the sign said parking this way, no parking this way, right there.
What is that? Just a second. What does that have to do with her?
Well, I wouldn't have been there if it wouldn't have been for her.
That's what she keeps saying, and
I wouldn't have been there. I did her a favor. I've done a lot for this lady.
Miss Bishop,
a lot.
Listen to me. Your argument is that, but for the fact that you were doing her a favor, you wouldn't have had your car down in that location, and you wouldn't have gotten a ticket.
Right.
And therefore, she is responsible for the ticket.
Right.
Let's say you were driving with her to pick up her daughter, and you were speeding.
Right.
And
No,
you
I
got a
wouldn't hold her
just a second. And you got a speeding ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be responsible for that?
No, it wouldn't be.
Shh. Who would be responsible?
I would be.
Because you did the wrong thing.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, you try to explain to me how it's different parking where you weren't supposed to be parking. And speeding.
Well, because she didn't have the money to pay where we could park, where it wasn't going to cost us any money. I mean, where it wasn't going to cause me any harm. She didn't have the money. She didn't have any money when we went.
But then when you parked there under the tunnel, I asked you, can you park here?
Right, and I could because I did before.
So I asked you.
Just a second. So you said you've parked there before and you didn't get a ticket.
Right.
This time you did.
Right.
Pay it.
Okay. Well, what about the money that I took $40 to eat on for the parking, to finally pay the $5 for the parking and stuff. What about that?
Just a second.
I mean, when I called up her one day,
I think she's responsible for those out-of-pocket expenses. The gas, right?
Yeah.
You've paid $5 to park the car after you moved the car when you got a ticket? Were you with her when she moved the car?
Yes.
And she paid $5 for that?
Yes.
You think you're responsible for that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That's $25. And if you think that you were wrongfully given a ticket,
right,
then you have to go argue that the Parking Violations Bureau. You go before a hearing examiner and tell them your story. But you parked your car in the wrong place. You got a ticket.
Передает эту нагрузку на большой палец. Отсюда и мотивация у балерин все время держать большой палец в выпрямленном состоянии. Вот здесь. Как только мы это увидели, то получается, что есть при таком косом ходе вот такое противодействие формы. Оказывается, что все мышцы, которые заставляют нашу ногу удерживаться, это приводящие мышцы, имеют целую систему мышц, которые приводят ногу, то есть не позволяют ей отойти в сторону. Но все мышцы, которые находятся на голени, в отличие от бедра, находятся на наружной поверхности, вот здесь, которые, собственно говоря, управляют этой поверхностью. Поэтому у нас получился вот такой диагональный ход дублирующих линий с этой стороны. Колено же, которое зажалось в этой части, ей досталась интересная функция. Она как будто бы выглядит в виде цилиндра, сдвинутого вот так в сторону. Поэтому получилось, что когда мы рисуем это бедро, то мы видим форму вот такого спускающегося цилиндра, который переходит в такой же цилиндр, но который идет с неким смещением. Поэтому весь коленный сустав всегда выглядит вот так направленно. В этом виновата на самом деле малоберцовая кость, которая отодвинулась вот так в сторону и создала вот это дополнительное пространство. Но коленная чашечка, которая существует у нас на передней поверхности, ее задача защищать два края бедренной кости, и поэтому она очень плотно привязана к этому пространству. Но для того, чтобы ее удержаться, нужна связка, которая ее будет держать. И поэтому она спускается этой собственной связкой и прикрепляется на переднюю поверхность большеберцовой кости. В результате возникает два треугольника. И поэтому на начальном этапе, для того, чтобы понять, как строится коленная чашечка, лучше всего научиться видеть следующее. Мы ставим хорошо визуально видимый край коленной чашечки, рисуем треугольник. И под этот треугольник рисуем еще один треугольник. Раз треугольник и два треугольника. Это и будет наш коленный сустав, относительно которого вся внутренняя поверхность будет удаляться туда, вся наружная поверхность будет удаляться сюда. А это будет абсолютный фронт. Из-за того, что коленная чашечка, если рассматривать в профиль ногу, то коленная чашечка по отношению к этой же вертикали будет находиться в так называемом минусе. То есть она развернута вот так, за счет чего выглядит зачастую темной. Если мы будем рассматривать голень, по отношению к этому краю, голень как будто возвращается сюда. Но верхний край голени все еще сохраняет такой же наклон. Поэтому если провести некую вертикальную линию, идущую вдоль края большеберцовой кости, то огромная масса мышц бедра всегда будет вынесена за эту линию. И поэтому коленная чашечка должна оказаться не на прямой линии, а она должна как бы быть отдельным объемом вынесена за эту форму. Итак, мы построили два вот этих треугольника, но на самом деле никто никогда так коленную чашечку не видит, потому что все видят примерно следующую часть. Все видят край силуэта, здесь и здесь, и потом видят некое тональное пятно в виде коленной чашечки, потом еще два тональных пятна здесь и здесь, и потом видят тональное пятно, которое спускается сюда вниз. Что это такое? Под коленной чашечкой прячется подколенный жир. И в тот момент, когда вы выпрямляете ногу целиком, подколенный жир выскакивает с двух сторон, с одной и с другой стороны. И он становится столь заметный, что коленная чашечка скорее воспринимается таким квадратиком, у которого есть некое непонятное пятно вниз. Но если внимательно присмотреться, это непонятное пятно вниз, это и есть собственная связка надколенника или передняя поверхность большеберцовой кости. Поэтому как бы жировые комочки нас не выскочив, не отвлекали, но мы должны все равно почувствовать вот эту массу треугольника, массу этого треугольника, что позволит нам сразу кольцевать эту поверхность через эти края, и коленный сустав сразу становится объемный за счет этого. Такая неподвижность или такая стабильность коленного сустава будет происходить все время, когда нога выпрямлена, что позволит нам увидеть следующие очень важные вещи. Когда начинается бедро, в этой части, где выходит портняжный мускул и мускул, напрягающий широкую фасцию, вот здесь возникнет такой маленький треугольник, где прямая мышца выпрыгивает из общего объема. Так вот, это направление будет соответствовать направлению коленного сустава. Когда мы спустимся вниз, то направление подъема стопы также будет соответствовать параллельности этого объема. Также он будет параллелен и в большом пальце. Поэтому, когда вы начинаете рисовать ногу, то обычно вы делаете так, если она находится не в фасовом режиме, а как-то развернута на вас, то вы увидите следующее. Вы увидите поверхность переднюю бедра с боковой поверхностью, здесь идущей. Потом увидите коленный сустав, потом увидите форму голени, и потом появится такая же форма стопы, которая выходит здесь. И получается, что вот эти параллельные структуры стопы, вот эти параллельные передние плоскости голени, которые будут идти здесь, всегда будут параллельны друг другу, когда стопа выпрямлена. И будет такой же перпендикуляр по отношению к этому объему, который будет работать относительно этого края вот сюда внутрь. Это сразу будет давать ощущение максимальной глубины. То есть максимального пространства, которое можно добиться. Конечно, разбив на 2 счета нечестный, потому что это полная сфера, и она имеет многообразие всех плоскостей. Но представить себе структуру в начале в виде вот такой формы гораздо проще, гораздо легче, что позволяет вам с легкостью анализировать направление масс, и тогда вы можете врисовывать ногу в согнутом состоянии с внутренней части, точно так же понимая, как работает закон поворота бедра, что очень удобно, потому что вот эта поверхность, сохраняя свою параллельность, будет выглядеть очень убедительно. В реальной жизни в согнутой ноге на самом деле нарушается закон этой параллельности, потому что как только колено сгибается, связки расслабляются, и колено уже может вращаться. То есть может появляться вот этот люфт большеберцовой кости относительно бедренной части. Это будет происходить вот в этой части, вот здесь территории. И поэтому если человек повернет, например, носок в одну сторону или в другую, будет меняться угол наклона поверхности голени, что заставит стопу менять направление. Но обычно такие события очень хорошо видны, и вы начинаете с легкостью видеть эти поверхности. Ну вот секрет рисования коленного сустава.